Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Afternoon Tune. I am your host, Josh, and with me are my two co-hosts.
It's your boy, Chayse.
And today we got a nice special guest coming in, Jeremy. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Friend of the podcast, animator, and he'll pimp some of his stuff. In fact, you can do it right now. Jeremy, where people can find your nice, beautiful animation, things like that?
You can type my name on YouTube, Jeremy Payne. That'll be Jeremy, Payne, like House of Pain. As soon as you see some cartoon stuff that pops up, that'll be me.
Right. Make sure not to type in Tyler Perry, House of Pain. Make sure they'll probably pop up in search engine.
Oh, no.
So you're not part of that pain. Yeah.
No. No major pain either. So
yeah. So for people who don't know, like, can you describe some of your art style? What you do, basically. People.
I do animation. So I just started a little animated web series. It's kind of like a sort of like a take of '90s cartoons era, like Simpsons, Family Guy. I just did a short not too long ago. It's basically sort of like the old style black and white Disney cartoons. So check it out. Put some work into it. I appreciate the views.
Sweet.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. So make sure people who are there sub to that. Hit the bell, do all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, very much of that. Old school animation style. Yeah, which looks very, very nice. And how long does it take you to do something like this?
Well, for the beginning part, it took a little while longer because you gotta basically create all the designs and backgrounds and everything. But now it's probably take around maybe 5 or 6 months, give or take.
Wow, that's some dedication there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been animated for?
I started doing like around 3 years ago because I just decided I was like, I want to try to get into it because I'm a big animation nerd, Disney, all that stuff, DreamWorks. So I just wanted to try it out. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna try it out and see. And then I saw a bunch of tutorials and software. I was like, okay, you can probably make your own. It won't be on Disney quality, of course, but you can make your own little animation and cartoons and stuff. So might as well give it a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get started.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I definitely see the Family Guy inspiration there. Yeah, very much of that. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Especially since you do it all by yourself and. Painstaking hard work to do all this. That is.
Oh yeah. Lots of long nights.
That is impressive. Yeah. So tonight we get a nice big show, thick show, meaty show tonight. A lot of news that extra thick. So we're going to discuss VGAs, the winners, losers from that. We're going to discuss Cyberpunk 2077, first impressions, and you're going to get a nice, well-rounded kind of opinions from the three of us here because I played it on PS5, Nick played it on PS4, or tried to play it on PS4. Chayse, he played it on PC, so you're going to get, that disgusting PC. So you're going to get a nice, good round,
the elite,
rounded opinions of people who played it from all these different types of platforms. Going to discuss, of course, The Mandalorian, as we discuss every week. New episode of Mandalorian. One more week of The Mandalorian. And then that is it. And then after that, probably the next show we're going to probably discuss weekly will probably be WandaVision. That drops January 15th. So we're probably going to be discussing that weekly to replace The Mandalorian. After that, we're going to discuss a nice HBO Max deal. People are pissed. A lot of creators in Hollywood, from agents to directors, writers, everyone's mad at Warner Bros. Right now.
Pretty much everybody who isn't in the business of making movies is mad at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're also going to discuss big Disney news. That's what they just decided to just unload all over the internet's face.
What did Disney drop something? Did they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very impressive. So we're going to talk about
news.
very, very big, huge news that dropped. For anybody who didn't know, they are making a Hocus 2. That's the big news. Everybody's talking about it. The whole original cast is coming back for Hocus Pocus 2. Very, very big news. We're going to be discussing that, theories, possibilities of what they're going to do for the next film. That's going to take up a lot of time.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, yeah, we're going
I heard Despacito 2 is going to be in the soundtrack.
Wow. That is a hot rumor right there. Hot. We're going to be discussing all of that.
Yeah, I heard Tom Holland's Spider-Man's going to carry a cameo in Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah, and all the characters that are actually from Hocus Pocus are reprising their role in Spider-Man 3 as well.
Yeah. Doctor Strange is going to make an appearance in Hocus Pocus 2. He's going to have a love affair with Sarah Jessica Parker's character.
Oh, of course.
They're going to have a child.
He's what connects the universes together in the multiverse of madness.
Hey, there you go.
Exactly. It's going to be... I've heard rumors that Doctor Strange hooked up with Sarah Jessica Parker. They had a kid. That kid turned out to be Wanda. And then that's the reason why she is so powerful as she is. So it's some possible rumors. You never know.
It's all connected.
But again, these are rumors, people. Rumors. You know what I mean? But they do come up from a very, very good source. We got this covered, and Cosmic Book News. Both really super reliable sources. I read this. So
straight from our asses.
Yeah.
Right.
What are you kidding about? What are you kidding? I put the "We Got This Covered" link in the general chat.
And we're also going to discuss the Cobra Kai trailer, season 3. That kind of got, I think, lost in the mix of all this other big news that's coming out. And that's also coming out
Lost.
January. So.
Lost. I mean, Disney pretty much took that trailer and said, "Fuck out of here."
Yeah, I mean, it just...
there was a lot of serotonin yesterday. Just too much. We were overdosing.
I think I need a minute.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was so much news. Everybody's FBI agent had to log off and check it out for themselves. It was just that impressive. All right, so to start off things, we'll discuss the VGAs, the winners here, and the big controversy. So, Last of Us Part 2, everybody's favorite game. That got Game of the Year. I think we discussed it last week, the VGA's nominees. I thought Ghost of Tsushima was going to get it because of the controversy of Last of Us Part 2 and everything like that. So I just thought maybe the safe pick would have been people just going with Ghost of Tsushima. But turns out it got Game of the Year. So did anybody here beat the game, played it in completion?
Yes, I played it all the way through. Story, it has some pacing issues, but the gameplay I think is really solid, especially the improved crafting mechanics from the first game, the stealth, the combat, and that. I really enjoyed playing it. The story, I think it needed another pass in the writer's room, but it's...
Revenge is bad.
Yes, that's the whole moral of the story. Revenge is bad.
Okay. Chayse, did you ever play it or no?
No, but I heard enough about it. I mean, I knew it was going to win. It's kind of like one of the... Naughty Dog in itself is a critical darling. And I feel like from what I've seen in terms of, what they were trying to do with the story and how the gameplay is, I'm not surprised. Was I rooting for Ghost? Yes. Was I rooting for Doom? Yes. Was I rooting for Final Fantasy VII Remake? And Hades? Yes. But am I mad? Nah, not really. Even though I knew, if I was to get into The Last of Us, I know it's not the type of game for me, but I do know it's a type of game for other people that enjoy them. This franchise or whatever they're trying to do with it. But it's just not my cup of tea, and I'm not angry. I mean, it's like with the Oscars,
right.
Macklemore beat Good Kid, Mad City for fuck's sake. Who really cares about awards?
Right. That was the Grammys.
Awards only matter when they.
Grammys,
Awards
Oscars
only matter when they truly give the best thing the award it deserves. Like last year's Oscars with Parasite.
Yeah.
Awards only matter if a thing wins that I like. That's the only time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they're valid.
That's why the only award I cared about was the score, because Final Fantasy had to win that score.
And it did.
Like you
Yeah, it was a gorgeous
you're not
score.
touching.
It was a beautiful
You're
score.
not touching.
Let's go through some of the other nominations real quick. The winners, real quick. The big ones. Ghost of Tsushima did win for best art direction. Was a gorgeous looking game.
The best looking
Yeah.
It
game.
was very, very beautiful. I thought Last of Us 2 looked pretty good. Last of Us 2 did look really gorgeous.
I might have gone with Hades though for best art direction, just in terms of like it having such a unique style and a very colorful style too.
Yeah.
Ghost and Last of Us are very dark and very gritty, but still very good picks.
Yeah. As Chayse mentioned, Final Fantasy VII won for best score. I think it's
As it should.
Yeah. Very, very great score. Great music on that one. Last of Us 2 also, I think, had some good music. I was playing some of it. I've only played some hours of it. But Last of Us 2 also did have a very good score to it as well, I thought. Doom, Eternal. I mean, if you're into like heavy metal rock type music, if that's what you're into, I guess, I thought also that had a pretty decent score, good headbanger type stuff. How was the score for Hades since you played that?
It's alright. I mean, I wouldn't have picked it out of this group, but it has its own style, its own flavor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Chase's girl, she won Valkyrie. She got Content Creator of the Year. So he's pretty happy about that. He's pretty excited.
I guess.
Laura Bailey won for Best Performance as Abby in Last of Us 2. I think we predicted that, right? A lot of people saw
Yeah,
it,
I thought that was well deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's an amazing voice actor, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Let's see. Ongoing game, No Man's Sky. I was kind of surprised.
That's ongoing?
Yeah. I was pretty.
That still exists?
Yeah. Yeah, I was pretty surprised by that one. I thought it'd probably be Apex or Fortnite or Warzone, but I guess it's No Man's Sky. Okay.
People still play?
I guess so, apparently. I guess so. Best indie game, Hades. That one. Best multiplayer game, Among Us. That's kind of give it kind of a given right there how popular that is. Audio design, Last of Us 2. Narrative, Last of Us 2. Role-playing game, Final Fantasy VII. That was pretty much a gimme. That's probably gonna get that as well. Let's see. I guess best action adventure, Last of Us 2. So Last of Us 2 really did really well. Did you expect it to do this really well in the awards, or?
I mean, not as well as it did.
A critical darling, then it makes sense that it would do as well as it did.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Ghost didn't win in some of these categories, but I mean, it just wasn't the year.
Yeah.
More seasons hate Asian people. That's why.
But they picked Parasite.
Totally.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Action adventure. I'm surprised it didn't go to Fallen Order. I thought that might have gotten it.
I think because maybe that came out really late last year and maybe too early this year.
Okay. All right.
I think the same reason Rocketman didn't get nominated at the Oscars last year, because it came out too early, so people kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Last of Us did pretty well, pretty much swept. Basically, won in every category they were in. I mean, a lot of people are raging about it being Game of the Year. A lot of people had such a visceral reaction to this game, hatred for this game, and some people had not even played it. I mean, does it even really matter if people are mad about this? I mean, it's whatever. I mean, it's award shows. That's what people say. It's bought and fixed anyway. They wouldn't have said that if the thing they liked won, but whatever, this won, so they're going to say that.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. you know. But
Also, they still
I
bought and
have
paid for the game, so who's really winning?
yeah. Yeah, there a lot of people pre-ordered Last of Us 2. A lot of people did, and the game.
Oh yeah.
And the game did well financially. The game did sell well. So hey, it won its awards. It's made its money. A lot of people say like, well, I'm never gonna get another Naughty Dog game, which is bullshit. You know, people.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, I mean that's bullshit. So you know, people just talking shit. And Naughty Dog also won for best studio. So yeah, they won that.
As soon as they announce the third one, they're gonna come right back around to it. But I do sort of take issue with them taking that studio, because you know, they do kind of have some shady practices.
Well, doesn't
I feel like Hades?
I mean, every game.
Well, no. Hades. Supergiant Games is actually one of the few gaming studios that. Oh wait, no, my bad. That's not the name of the studio, is it? Wait, yeah, no, my bad. It is Supergiant. They actually, you know, they make sure that their employees take days off. They make sure that like nobody's crunching. Like they took their time with Hades, which is something I respect and is extremely rare in the industry. So they're like one of the few companies that I would have been like, all right, yeah, no, that's where the W goes to. And at the most part, I can kind of understand if people are angry about that award, but you know, all the other awards, it's like, all right, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
you should have known better. You should have expected The Last of Us to win, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it was a hugely popular game, very heavily critically reviewed positively. Yeah. I still have to beat it myself. I got like a few hours into it, like about like 8 to 10 hours into it. And then not say I had any issue with it, which is why I stopped. I just sometimes it's hard for me to finish games sometimes.
Josh don't beat his games.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes I just have issues doing that. But I am going to try to beat this game that we're going to be talking about, Cyberpunk 2077, which I just started playing today, downloading everything. Just got a few hours of playtime in before we started the show. So Chayse, I'll let you talk about the peasant PC experience of you playing it on Cyberpunk, because you guys got it early. So I'll let you talk about, because you probably played more hours than me and Nick, who played it.
Yeah, I don't know if you could even say I'm a peasant, because we got this, So I get the alert on Steam. On Twitter, that Steam is dropping it early at like 7. So I preload it, right? And it takes like maybe like 2 hours for it to fully load. But then it also had like a day 1 patch that had to come and would only drop at 7 p.m. So I was sitting there waiting, just like, all right, when is this game actually gonna like load? And if it does load, is it gonna work? And I'm not gonna hold you, I was very pleasantly surprised. This is, I love this game. It's how do I describe it? Because there's obviously the comparisons to say like a Witcher or like a GTA, or like a futuristic GTA.
Kind of like
but
Fallout, but not in the apocalypse is kind of the impressions I was getting.
Yeah, it's very much like Fallout, because it's it's a shooter and looter type of game where you're like running around, completing these missions, doing these side jobs, looting bodies and looting whatever they got going on, and just exploring the world and seeing what they have to offer. And it is so dense. It is almost too dense. It's like very overwhelmingly like big. And I mean, I was kind of surprised, because like as the nomad, I thought that I was going to spend more time out in the Badlands, but they kind of introduce you very briefly to the Badlands. They let you drive around a little bit, and then they just are like, all right, you're in the world, you're in the city now. Like, this is where the game is. Like, this is where the real story and what is going on is. Now, after watching a few different playthroughs of the beginning, I have noticed that which is kind of disappointing to me, at least, that there aren't too many differences in the first act, at least, of the first three life paths. It's just that they're basically different backgrounds for how characters might perceive you, and different backgrounds for how you meet the best friend character, Jackie. But other than that, it seems like the missions are very much just the same.
Really?
Yeah, or at least the story is pretty much the same. Now, I'm assuming that it's gonna begin to branch off by the different like choices you make, because in one of the missions already, I'm already kind of in a situation where they're asking me, all right, are you gonna betray this person and follow me so we can make more money, or are you going to obey this person and, you know, make less money, but you still have that very powerful person behind your back? So I do wonder where, you know, if I were, I would love to see how that changes the story. And I am eager to run different playthroughs rather than just a redneck playthrough. But yeah, so I got the Trailer Park Boy Nomad. Josh got the Hood Booger Street Kid. And Nick got the Trust Fund Kid life path. But what was your experiences? Because like I'm having a lot of fun.
I mean,
like,
what little I was
wait.
able to play with it on PS4, it was fun. But sadly, I didn't get too far into it. It thing crashed on me like 4 times in 4 hours. I tried to play it. Yeah, it was rough.
So, which PS4 do you have? Do you have the base PS4
I have
or the
a
Pro?
base PS4.
Ooh. Yikes. Yeah.
So, how's it look? Because I've been hearing and seeing tweets about it looking like a PlayStation 3 game.
I wouldn't go that far. I think it looks fine as a PS4 game, but not a next-gen console game. There was like moments where the audio and the graphics weren't kind of meshing together. It was like there was almost like millisecond delay between dialogue delivered and animation in the game. At least what level I played.
Now I did notice something like that with some of my bugs. There was this one bug where I was shooting in a car, and for whatever reason there was no shotgun sound effects for like a brief moment until I got hit, and then the sound effects started to trigger again. And you know, like the game is buggy.
Yeah.
Like on all systems.
Yeah. I'm playing it on PS5, and there's situations where the most bugs I'm really experiencing are like with the best friend character Jackie, where he'll like phase through walls, or he'll like glitch and like walk into something and hit it, and then he'll be in the middle of the room or something like that. Like that's really where I'm mostly experiencing stuff, is with him glitching, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's unfortunate because he's like a good bulk of the story. But yeah, I mean, I haven't, maybe because I'm a PC elitist, I haven't quite experienced too many game breaking or like super noticeable bugs. More so, most of the bugs I've dealt with are like kind of funny, or just kind of like, all right, like that was a brief moment. Like there was this one arm. Did I record it? I hope I did. Where I was in the club and I had a samurai sword. I had a katana, right? And I was slicing people up in the club, and the arm was still moving around, and it looked like it was dancing to the music in the club. So
there's lots of reports of people like the common glitches of like penises going through the clothes, breasts going through the clothes. You'll see tons of videos.
Oh, that's just the future.
Oh, that's just people just nudity. Everybody can be just nude. That's 2077. Yeah.
Yeah, man. We've evolved past the need for clothing.
So there's a lot of people reporting like glitches like that. I'm playing on PS5. It looks good for me. It does look good. I wish it was an option for if you could do between third person and first person. I wish they had that option, because you spend all this time, if you're a person who really likes to customize their character and dress them up and do all this other stuff, but you barely get to see them because it's always in first person. I don't really like long extended periods of first person.
Yeah, that
was
was like one of the perplexing choices for me. It was like, why put so much emphasis on customizing a character if you don't get to see them? If this is a first person game, then what's the point?
Yeah, so the idea behind it was that they wanted you to sort of really take in the city, which I get. But like I understand your gripes, because it's like you spend I mean, I spent maybe like 20 minutes customizing my character, and I will only see this man in mirrors.
Yeah.
Or like in photo mode. But you know, it's like I get the artistic choice, but I also feel like they could have spent less time with the customizable options, to be honest with you, because to some degree there's like certain parts of the customization that were kind of underwhelming, like the hair choices. But you know,
I was trying to find
it's in the voice.
I was trying to find like a fade option. Like, did they not have a hair?
Yeah.
Did they not have a haircut that's just like a fade? Did they not have that in there?
Nah.
What the hell?
Nah.
Exactly.
Like,
they spent more time figuring out how to customize your dick size than they did their hair.
Like, you really could have spent less assets on that and added some more hair.
Wow.
Like there's very detailed like pubic hair options, and it's just like, why is this an option that I'm
Imagine
so
the poor
interested
fucker
in?
that had to animate all of that.
Yeah.
So I mean, given your first impressions, you like the game so far, pretty much?
I love it.
Love it? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
love it.
I had fun with
I'm
the
addicted.
game. I'd have a lot more fun. It would stop if it would stop crashing my PS4. Hopefully that gets fixed with maybe an update, or maybe by time I need to upgrade. But yeah, the fuck, CD Projekt Red.
They really shouldn't have tried to make this last gen, because apparently the next gen versions were ready last month or so, but it was the PS4 and Xbox One that they were having issues with, because they had to downgrade everything to make sure that it still was operational.
Well, guess what, motherfucker?
So it was just like, all right, like maybe you should have just gone straight next gen.
Yeah, make this just a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah,
pretty much.
just strictly next gen. You'd have a version of the game that hopefully, Josh, you say works, that doesn't crash your console.
Yeah.
And they could have spent a lot more time, instead of trying to downgrade it, and more time on fixing all the damn bugs.
So when the game dropped, the patch came, like on consoles, the patch came with the game, right? When it dropped on for consoles, right? Is that correct? If I got that right?
I think so. I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
That's what they said would happen, and that's kind of why it took so long for me to play it,
okay.
because they claimed to do a day one patch.
Okay. So they probably, I mean, the glitches in it are nothing earth-shattering for me as of yet. It's nothing too bothersome, really. It's just kind of weird seeing it kind of like that. And it's a lot of stuff to do. I'm just getting into it, just getting my feet wet. So it's nothing too, kind of first impressions is kind of okay. I feel like, okay, I'm enjoying it. Really wish it was third person, instead of just first person. Give a little bit more kind of, different perspective. And you say it's to more immerse yourself in the environment in the city. I still think you could have did that in third person, or just at least give people the option to do so. Like GTA, like if make this more of like a futuristic GTA, which is what people kind of assumed a little bit it would kind of be like.
Yeah,
to a degree.
Yeah, I think that's what the game was sold as. It was sold as future GTA.
Yeah. Fighting some enemies in the game. A lot of people, I think the enemies are just bullet sponges. Like constantly just firing.
Yeah, it takes like 5 headshots before one of them goes down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like Fallout or Borderlands, What I got used to it, but I will say though, once you get the katana, as long as you're within range, you're kind of okay. Or at least, and this is me playing it on normal. I haven't played it on hard yet because I'm not a sweat.
I'm on hard mode right now. Whoa, pause. But but yeah, I'm playing on the second hardest difficulty, which is just hard, and then there's very hard. So what difficulty are you on there, Nick?
I played it on normal.
Normal. Okay.
Yeah, I played it on normal.
Damn,
for
y'all are weak.
Like the first mission before it killed my PS4.
We're just not sweaty. We just like to enjoy our games.
You can enjoy it by playing it on the second hardest difficulty.
If I progress a little bit too quickly, because I'm doing a lot of side quests right now.
Okay.
Like the game is just the map is just chock full of like different side quests varying from like you have the fixers that kind of give you the more official side quests. You have the random like if you're about that blue life matter bullshit, you can go and join and live out your weird fantasies of stopping crime and stuff like that, with the blue missions and stuff like that. And then you also have like various different like just like events and like moments throughout the game just sprinkled about. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then of course you have the story mode, but if I get too far into it and I'm like just breezing by, I might switch it to hard mode, but right now normal mode makes sense for me. I've died a couple times already, so I'm chilling.
I mean, I might up the difficulty if an update comes out and I'm able to actually play the game on PS4.
Yeah. So I think you gotta upgrade, man. I don't think it's gonna be that good. I think you gotta upgrade.
Yeah.
I think you have to upgrade. But
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I gotta upgrade and wait for PS4 5s to become available. Goddamn scalping
I told you,
fuckers.
Hey, you spent all that money on that dog. You should have got a PS5. I told you.
Wasn't my money.
I told you. I tried to tell you. Spend all that money on that dog. Can that dog play? Can you stick a disc in that dog and him play Cyberpunk? I don't think so. I don't think so. But yeah. So So I don't know. Maybe they'll do something to help it play better on PS4. I don't know. But yeah, I mean that sucks for people who are on those still on PS4 and PS4 Pro, and then they still can't play the game properly.
Get your money up.
Yeah.
Get a PC.
No, never get a PC. Never ever get a PC.
I don't know, man. It sounds like it runs best on PC.
I mean, it's buggy as hell on PC too. It's not like it's great on PC.
I don't see Jackie phasing through my walls.
Well, you still have issues, so you're not any better. So calm that down.
But I got fun bugs.
Nah, those are fun bugs. Watching Jackie walk through a wall, those are fun. Him being Kitty Pryde, that's fun.
Okay.
All right, so moving on from discussing Cyberpunk 2077, I'm going to discuss HBO Max. A lot of people mad at Warner Brothers right now. A lot of directors, actors, agents, things of that nature. Hoes is mad for sure, to say the least. And one hoe is Christopher Nolan.
The man who quote unquote saved cinema with Tenet this year.
So this is via Hollywood Reporter. This is direct quote from Christopher Nolan, who just sounds kind of cranky. This just sounds kind of just like he just maybe somebody pissed him off that day, or just sounds just super mad.
It's a lot of that.
He said
it's like that news article. Old man yells at the sky.
Yeah.
He's just an angry British dude.
He said some of our industry's biggest filmmakers and most important movie stars went to bed the night before thinking they were working for the greatest movie studio and woke up to find out they were working for the worst streaming service. Filmmaker Christopher Nolan, whose relationship with Warner Brothers dates back to Insomnia in 2002. So he has a long-standing relationship with them. The Batman movies, Inception, things of that nature. He has a big, long-standing relationship.
Yes, he has a very long-standing relationship with Warner Brothers. He has made them literally all of the money.
Added Nolan, Warner Brothers had an incredible machine for getting a filmmaker's work out to everyone, both in theaters and in the home, and they are dismantling it as we speak. They don't even understand what they're losing. Their decision makes no economic sense, and even the most casual Wall Street investor can see the difference between disruption and dysfunction. So there's a lot of ways. There's multiple directors who've come out. Denis Villeneuve, he's also come out and stated his displeasure with this. James Gunn as well. His film Suicide Squad is also going to be on the HBO Max platform. Denis Villeneuve, Dune is going to be on the HBO Max platform. His film is part of the slate of films that's going to HBO Max. So there's a lot of ways to approach this and to understand where they're coming from, understand the general consistency of the consumer, things like that. So we're going to try to tackle it from these different angles here. So one of the angles is that from a creative standpoint, like from Denis Villeneuve or Christopher Nolan, Denis Villeneuve was a little bit more tactful, and his statements, he did in his statement, he didn't mention, like, this is via Variety, he said public safety comes first. Nobody argues that, which is why when it became apparent the winter would bring a second wave of the pandemic, I understood and supported the decision of delay of Dune's opening by almost a year. The plan was that Dune would open in theaters in October 21st when vaccinations would be advanced, and hopefully the virus behind the science tells us that everything should be back to normal next fall. So HBO Max also didn't tell any of these directors that they were going to make this decision.
Yes. I believe the only people that got advance notice were Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, because they got advance word. Yeah, because they got advance word because they were the first movie announced to drop it on HBO Max. And I don't understand what the fuck these guys are getting their panties in a bunch for. It's going to theaters same day.
Right.
So for all you supposed cinema that need to see it in cinema.
It's kind of
Seeing it from their perspective, I get it. A lot of directors, a lot of actors and producers, they negotiate so they get a piece of box office return.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which understandably would take a significant hit dropping it on a streaming service same day.
And we still don't even know how much of a percentage that they even make off of streams. I don't think anybody truly knows, like, what income is made off of streams.
Right.
Because I get it.
With just to have something that's a little bit comparable and an industry that has gone through kind of this phase a little bit, the music industry. You see a little bit of how much artists. There's a little bit more data to show how much artists make off of streaming. Which is why what artists do is what they call kind of stream trolling or just kind of stream padding. It's kind of basically like when you have like Drake, for instance. He'll put out a project with 30 plus songs on one album. And a lot of that is just to be added on all these different playlists and everything like that on Spotify, on Apple Music, on things like that. So the more streams you get, the more, that counts towards your album and streams. So that's more money towards you that gets. Right? So nobody knows exact of how this is really going to work, which is kind of the frustration here going on, because this is from New York Times, which also brought this up. So one of the big things I think is the concern is how that people will be compensated. So it says here, so how studios compensate A-list actors, directors, and writers and producers is complicated, with contracts negotiated film by film and person by person, but it boils down to two checks. One is guaranteed a large upfront fee, and one is a gamble, a portion of the ticket sales after the studio has recouped its costs. If a film flops, the second payday never comes. If a film is a hit, as in often case with superhero films and fantasy stories, the back end pay can add up to be a wheelbarrow full of cash. That money trickles down through Hollywood's financial ecosystem to agents, lawyers, managers, funding, Pacific Islands, mansions, the latest Porsche, and 1,000 per person dinners. So they're concerned about the bottom line. Am I getting my fucking money? I mean, you know what I mean? Jeremy, what do you think about this situation? And just from, can you see the director's side? I mean, where are you coming from as a consumer of this when you heard the news that these films are going to be released on HBO Max?
I mean, as a consumer, I love this because like I basically get to watch everything at home. Because I'll be honest, I'm not going to go see a movie during this pandemic. I wasn't even going to see Tenet. Like, you gotta, as a consumer, you gotta put your basically figure out what's important. It's like, I'm not going to risk my life just to go see a movie when I can just wait 3 or 4 months to see it on streaming. So it doesn't make any sense to me to see it in theaters. So I kind of understand from that perspective. But like from a movie director perspective, I can see why they're mad, especially with like Christopher Nolan, because he always makes his movies that need to be seen on the big screen, and of course all of them get paid money from the box office returns. It's so I can see why they get mad about it.
Yeah, I understand why you get mad about it, and plus Nolan, he's one of those directors where everything he does, it's to serve a theater experience. However, get the fuck off your high horse, bitch.
And
bitch, your movie fucking bombed domestically. You really don't have a leg to stand on with this argument.
But not only that, I hate to cut in,
if Tenet was a hit, then maybe I'd understand. But it really isn't.
Didn't his movie hate to cut in, but didn't it make the theaters? Didn't they lose money just keeping their theaters open just to run it? That's what I heard.
Yeah, I know it didn't do that well financially. Like, obviously, you know, it technically it did bomb. Given a normal environment, it probably wouldn't have. I mean, usually Christopher Nolan movies do really well in the box office. That's the thing. So, like, with Denis Villeneuve coming in and saying, like, okay, well, you know, with these vaccines coming out, you know, we could have just waited, and then next fall, like science tells us, like, we'll be prepared for things to go back to normal next fall. Well, you know, here's the thing. I mean, in best reality, sure, but you also have to, I think, look at the perspective of that. One, how long is it going to take for people to get this vaccine? Two, how long are people gonna take to get the vaccine? Two, are the fucking anti-vaxxers gonna be all up in arms about a vaccine being available?
Right.
Three.
Yeah, there's just too many variables.
Yeah, three.
It really is.
I think also another variable would be that how long it's going to take for people to feel comfortable enough to even sit in a theater full of other people breathing all the same air, coughing, sneezing, all this other stuff. Like, how long is it going to take people to feel comfortable doing that? And
that's a very good point.
And you got another slate of movies coming out for 2021 that is all going to be stacked on top of each other. So let's say you do put Dune out in 2021. Like, what is it going to go up against? What is it going to face?
Dune. It's if normal circumstances, if say vaccine came out tomorrow and January everything's back to normal, then all the movies that were delayed from this year are just going to be stacked on top of each other. And something like Dune, I think it's going to get lost in the shuffle. Because even Denis Villeneuve's last movie, Blade Runner 2049, that came out in a packed summer, and that bombed.
Yeah. And I mean, Denis Villeneuve, I love his work. I love Blade Runner 2049. It's one of my favorite sci-fi films ever. It's like in the top 10. But dude, that movie wasn't gonna be a blockbuster anyway. Dune wasn't gonna be a blockbuster, bro. Like you probably,
No,
I mean,
it wasn't.
more people will probably see it on HBO Max than they would see it on the big screen. I mean, I think that would be.
Right.
Bro, you're underestimating Timothy.
That's where
you're underestimating the power of Timothy and Zendaya's stands. You're really underestimating them.
Listen, I'm Zendaya stan, but I'm not going to the theater. I'm sorry. I love Zendaya, but I'm not going to the theater.
Yeah, I'm not. I do too, but I'm not going to a fucking theater.
I'm talking.
Where anti-mask Karen and Ken are fucking just riled.
I'm talking about normal circumstances. I feel like the movie would have been alright.
Oh, normal circumstances, yeah, that shit would have tanked.
No, I wouldn't have said it tanked.
I don't think it would have done that well.
Timothy, what's his name?
Chalamet.
Chamboulet.
Oliphant?
Chalamet, Champagne.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
Timothy Champagne.
And he has a good enough following. I feel like him and Zendaya probably would have pulled in some numbers. I'm not gonna hold you.
Does he have a good enough following? I feel like he's kind of like
he's the internet darling.
Up and coming act.
To who?
He's the internet's white boy.
You gotta take. Sebastian Stan is the internet's boyfriend. You gotta take.
No, I think that's Keanu Reeves or Chris Evans. I think.
No, I said white boy, not boyfriend.
Oh. Well, I mean,
he's like Tumblr's white boy.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, yeah. A lot of women do like him. A lot of people do like him on Tumblr. Yeah, but I mean, still though, I don't think that he would have generated that much box office success. I don't think for Dune.
I feel like it'd be like a moderate box office success.
Yeah,
it'd be something big.
Yeah,
it would have made its money back and a little bit over. I think.
Like 300 million.
Yeah, nobody is going to the movies to see a Timothée Chalamet movie. They're seeing movies that he is in.
I mean, he's a good actor and he's talented. Like Little Women, like that movie did probably better, but that was a large part because of just how I think good a movie was, and it had a nice ensemble cast.
How good a movie it was. How it was getting a lot of awards buzz. It had a lot of up and coming stars like. It had Emma Watson, a lot of up-and-comers like Saoirse Ronan, Florence Pugh, and it had Meryl Streep in it. So yeah, that's gonna get a lot of attention.
And I really do think that it did. Like Dune does have the potential to be a dark horse in terms of like a movie that may not be necessarily a blockbuster, but it's like on, it was on everybody's radar for a moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Because it has all the elements that we've seen and all the tropes that we've seen before, but hopefully they can tell it in a different way that makes it fresh.
Hopefully, I mean, I got faith in Denis Villeneuve as a director. I mean, I'm excited to see the film. And one aspect that a lot of people are coming at this as well. A lot of I think I mentioned in the article as well from I think it was Hollywood Reporter or Variety, where they mentioned how. I think an agent spoke about it. They quoted an agent. They said, and he was talking about how they're doing this a large part because their streaming service is underwhelming. And this is going to generate a lot of excitement. Because I think I was reading the part where it was saying that HBO Max, when they first premiered their streaming service, they only had like 8 million people who subscribed to it. Right? So this is probably going to really jump up.
I mean, that's common for any brand new streaming service.
But I mean, like compared to like Disney Plus completely dwarfed HBO Max.
Right.
When it came.
Well, I think it's HBO Max's fault too, because they didn't have it on Amazon, or they didn't have it on Roku.
They didn't have it on Roku. Yeah, they didn't have it on Roku at launch. It was only available on like Apple TV and on your website.
Right.
Yeah. So that is one aspect as well. This is the Hollywood Reporter. Yeah, they said it's also worth knowing that like Disney Plus, which has dwarfed HBO Max in terms of subscribers, it's just like Disney Plus still has like the Mandalorian, which is like their big thing that a lot of people can still come to, even though Disney Plus did promise like, oh, we're gonna have at first, and they were like, oh, we're gonna have all these Marvel shows and we're gonna do all this, and obviously COVID hit and
all those Marvel shows.
Yeah, I mean, COVID hit, production got delayed, and then, stuff happened, and then, because, like, the Falcon and Winter Soldier show is supposed to come out this year. It's supposed to come out fall of this year, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was supposed to be the first of the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, and then so obviously things happened with that interfered with it and everything like that. So yeah, I mean, I bet you, from a business, Warner Brothers is also looking at HBO Max. It's like, this streaming service, like, it does need some help. And HBO Max, I mean, it does have a lot of great content on it. I think this, with this huge slate of movies coming to it, bumps it up. With being top tier streaming service, like with Netflix, now Disney Plus, because now they've announced we're going to talk about Disney presentation. They got all this other stuff coming, so that's also they're going to be. So I think it's like a 3-person race right now between who's the top streaming service. So a large portion of that also has to do with them probably wanting to promote that as well.
Can you say that again?
I said a large portion of that, probably like of them wanting to bring all these slate of films to HBO Max, is probably one of the major reasons why they kind of wanted to do that, to pump it up, to make sure they get more subscribers.
Yeah, they want HBO Max to compete with Netflix and with Disney Plus, and with the announcement last week, they absolutely will.
Oh yeah.
I think they will.
There is some concern, like Legendary Pictures. There's some speak that they might seek legal action against Warner Brothers for doing this.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna put Warner Brothers is gonna put Godzilla versus King Kong on HBO Max, and there's some speak that they might seek legal action. Do you all think that might happen? And
I think it might.
I mean, on what grounds would they be able to sue? Is my question. What legal case do they have?
Yeah, because I wonder if they have any like contracts in the distribution that specifically state, hey, you cannot undermine our theater performance. I wonder if that's like
I mean, is it like in the contract does it state this movie has to be released in theaters? And is that the only specification?
So it's going same day still, regardless. It's just that I think the issue is that they're worried that with it,
it's also going to streaming the same
so it'll
day.
undermine the theater performance.
Yeah.
Well, I feel they're also
office.
worried about the film too. It's been having a lot of production trouble.
Oh.
Production troubles, and the last movie in that franchise didn't do so well domestically either.
It just came out today that I guess the budget's being cut. So I don't know how much is going to be cut. So I don't think it's going to have that much of an epic feel like the last one. So
okay. This is via Hollywood Reporter here again. Same article. It says many think Legendary will be the first to file a legal challenge. The company fired off a previous lawyer letter after Netflix offered something north of $225 million for the rights to Godzilla vs. Kong, which has seen its release date move from March 2020 to November to May 2021. Though Legendary financed 75% of the movie, Warner's had the power to block the sale and did. Legendary asked whether the studio would then give it a deal to stream the movie on HBO Max, and got no clear answer until its executives woke up one December morning to find out that the movie was going day and date to the service without the benefit of a negotiation. Legendary's even more expensive picture, Dune, is getting the same treatment. The other companies that finance Warner Films, Village Roadshow and Braun, also said they're aggravated parties that might end up going to court. So they're a little peeved that I guess they just didn't work out the deal of the streaming service, like whether to go. So maybe
they think they're pissed off that they didn't get advance notice.
Yeah,
so there was like a potential negotiation.
Yeah. And
also I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Oh, also I just looked online. I guess. So I don't know how many people got notification on this, but Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot, they got word of it ahead of time, but they got paid $10 million to promote the streaming service. I'm sure a lot of directors are probably mad about that too.
Yeah.
Where's our cut?
Where's my 10 million?
Right.
And a lot of people like are worried about, like they said, pirating, like if it comes on the streaming service, because like we talked about it, like with Mulan, when that came out, the next hour when it was released, it was already up on pirating sites. But somebody brought up
that was That was gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, but I mean, who's to say? I mean, it'll probably happen the same thing with Wonder Woman as well. But how much? I mean, how much of the population will do that? Will just pirate the movie? Do people really even know how to really like? Do most of the population really even know how to do that? Like somebody did bring up a good point, and Hollywood does overstate, pirating and it being such a big effect on the industry, and things like that. So I don't know, how much it will affect. I don't know, what would be successful or what they're looking at in terms of these movies going to, simultaneously to theaters and streaming service. I don't know, what for them will be a W in these terms. It's hard to say.
It's very minimum.
Yeah, it's
I think it'd be minimum.
It's hard to say. So, but I mean, it's. I mean, as a consumer, for me, I mean, personally, I love these things going to the streaming service, and also it's being simultaneously released in movie theaters. So you can, if you really want to care about the movie experience that much, you still can go to the movies to go see it, right? And obviously,
you still have the choice.
Yeah, and obviously the studios, they're losing money by the movie just sitting there. I mean, you know what I mean? And
they lose money by keeping them on the shelf.
And they saw what happened to Tenet. And they saw what happened, and they were like, we're probably going to take a bigger L if we just release it purely in theaters instead of just doing it if we just do it simultaneously. We're probably going to take a bigger L just releasing it.
Yeah. Tenet, I think, was the big catalyst for this decision. It was like the box office return on that was nowhere near what they thought it would be, and they said, all right, Nolan, fine.
And you could, they pushed it back. They pushed it back. They pushed it back. You can only push a movie back so much before people going like, oh right, yeah, Wonder Woman. Oh, that's right, that movie is coming out, right?
Yeah, you can only push it back for so long before people stop giving a shit about it.
Right.
Yeah, like excitement for that, interest in that is like, like that'll be diminished by the time the movie comes out.
Right,
so
right.
when you want to max capitalize on it, it's gone.
Yeah, speaking of another movie that came out earlier this year, New Mutants, that was delayed by 4 or 5 years, and by the time it came out, nobody cared.
I forgot all about it.
Yeah, I did too. Well, not only that is, I feel like the franchise, like Wonder Woman's a franchise, so they keep on delaying. I'm sure they have more future plans or sequels or spin-offs. What they're gonna do? So it's like they gotta release it somehow so they can keep on getting the franchise together.
Yeah. But so we'll keep updated, see what happens with this, see if Legendary sues them, see if, because there's some word about a boycott maybe with all the like the Directors Guild and the Writers Guild and the Actors Guild, so maybe a boycott. So I don't know.
We'll see about that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
We'll see. All right, so moving on from discussing the HBO Max deal, we're going to discuss some Mandalorian, Mando. So this is episode 7. Got one more episode before the season finale here, I'm really enjoying it. I think the latter part of this season has been pretty good. I thought the first episode was kind of rocky for me, but I think the season,
Yeah, the first 2 episodes were rocky, but from episode 3 on, the show's been knocking it out.
Yeah. Jeremy, how you been feeling about this season?
I liked it. I know it's been talking about a lot. The special effects are just amazing. Especially, you guys say you didn't really like the first episode, but I was kind of impressed how great the special effects were, especially the CG, because normally CG for TV is terrible. So
yeah,
I liked it.
Oh yeah. I think the comparison is apt because we're used to like effects from the CW and the effects from the Flash and Supergirl. We're used to those level of special effects for a genre show on TV. And this, holy shit, the mouse is writing them checks.
He really is.
Cash. I would love to see what budget it is per episode. It's got to be like 20 million. 30 million per episode. It's got to be high.
I think this show is more expensive, if not more expensive than like Game of Thrones back in the day, because that show was what, 10 million per episode.
Oh really?
Well,
yeah.
You'd have to. I'd probably say maybe. You're talking about like the first 3 seasons. because I wouldn't put it on like say season 4 and onwards budget of Game of Thrones, because the later they got into it, the more and more intensive it got with.
Oh, when they finally like brought the dragons.
Yeah, when they made the dragons actual dragons instead of little lizards.
So in this episode, Mando, he's forming what we call a star squad. You know what I mean?
Suicide Squad.
What are we? Some type of Star Wars squad? I mean, yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's what he's getting together. Cara Dune enlisted her services to help free an old character we saw in season 1, which was Bill Burr's character, Miggs Mayfield, which even kind of sounds like a Boston name, kind of, Miggs Mayfield. That definitely sounds like.
Yeah, he's from the Boss Tones.
Yeah, definitely sounds like an Irish boxer, definitely.
He really does.
Which is played by Bill Burr, who did a very good job in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this might be one of his best performances as an actor.
You know what? I was actually pretty shocked how great he was.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty good, and he's able to do that humor very well in this. And not seem goofy, because Star Wars can have that element of doing comedy, where it can be so goofy, but they can have elements where they could be, I think very funny. So it depends on who does it and who works it out. Like for instance, like Horatio Sands, like when he's like his alien character in this, and when he was doing like the back and forth stuff with Carl Weathers, I think in the episode prior, that just didn't work at all. Like that was like. Really just bad Star Wars kind.
Yeah, that was way too good.
It was.
Yeah,
it did not fit.
Yeah, but this works.
But,
and I think a lot of it is owed to the direction in this episode by Rick Famuyiwa, who directed Bill Burr's last episode also.
yeah, let's not also forget Bill Burr is one of the best current comedians right now.
Yeah, very very true.
So, this is light work for him in terms of the comedic realm.
Yeah. So in this episode, it's all about they have to acquire the coordinates to Moff Gideon's ship, because Moff Gideon has Baby Yoda, not Grogu, not calling him that, Baby Yoda. His mama named him Baby Yoda. I'm gonna call him Baby Yoda. That's what it is.
Yo, we don't use his government name around these parts. He's in trouble right now.
We don't use his slave name.
So
you call them the Jedi slave masters? Whoa.
They do take children when they're babies and raise them.
Damn, you do got a point there.
I mean, really look at the Jedi.
So Chayse, what were some of your favorite moments from this episode?
Well, for me, honestly, because I'm a big fan of Pedro Pascal, so to actually see him physically act for the first time in a long time in this show, was amazing.
Yeah, that was one of the most tense moments of the entire episode. Yeah. Especially because in this they have to infiltrate an Imperial base, and there's so much tension built up, and Mando's like already bending the rules, removing his helmet and taking off, putting on a different one. And then the revelation, in order to access this terminal, it needs to scan your face, which why would it open up for a complete stranger and not for anyone on the base? I don't know. That's possibly a nitpick for me, but it was still well handled, and there's always tense throughout that entire section, and I think that shows like a lot of character development for Mando himself, because I don't think he would have done that if he hadn't met Boba or he hadn't met Bo-Katan.
Well, I mean, also with just how long. Well, true. Because with Bo Katan, especially because she is a pure blood Mandalorian. He never got that perspective of, I'm a part of a cult. I didn't know that. But I think also, just it shows his relationship with Baby Yoda and how far he'll go.
How much he cares about Baby Yoda.
Yeah. And I love that. And just the way Pedro portrayed his like expression, because he was like,
there's
just so many emotions in his eyes, just like
there's like so much that he's saying but not speaking.
Yeah.
It's all in his eyes
Yeah.
that he is selling it so well.
You can see the distress. He feels like he's like betraying his whole like life and religion. But then you could also see like fear. And then also just pure anger whenever the weird officer comes up and talks to him and whatnot. Like, it's great to see Pedro act.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick, what were some of your favorite moments here?
My favorite moments were all the stuff inside the actual Imperial compound. Like I said before, it's like never-ending tension that even when it turns into the big action scene with Bill Burr's character, I liked his development as Mayfeld, because it was like you get the sense that he was maybe like more gung-ho about the Empire when he first joined, but his backstory is essentially the Empire left his entire platoon and his entire battalion to die. And it's like his disillusionment with the Empire and with like all space government in general. And then he takes a shot, and wow, that's actually one of the better action scenes in this series, as far as like close quarters.
Jeremy, what about you?
I actually did like we got to finally see Pedro Pascal's face. They kept on teasing through the whole show. Even was it the season finale? They're like, oh, take off your mask. You've been hit, and he's about to take it off, but they decide not to. I'm glad we got to finally see him. So I thought for sure, I thought he wasn't actually in that suit. I thought he was just doing the voice the entire time, like a voiceover. So I like that scene, and even when Nick brought up with the officer, Bill Burr's character, I actually like how they take the fantasy out of Star Wars. They try to make it more down to earth about like, hey, it's a war. People got screwed over in the war.
It's a war. People get fucked over in this like never-ending galactic conflict.
Yes, and it sort of reminded me of
it's like that one line of Empire, Republic, it doesn't matter, we're all invaders to these people.
Yeah. And so it kind of made me feel for Bill Burr's character. So I admit I like Bill Burr's character, but he kind of got on my nerves. He's kind of like that goofy side character that just kind of have a comedic tone to him. So I kind of like that, and I
mean, he had that comedic tone, but I think he's also a good enough actor to be able to sell being serious when he needs to.
Right. And so I like that. I always like how they're trying to make Star Wars more down to earth and try to make it more, I guess, understandable towards us. Because it kind of reminds me of the Vietnam War. You know how the government basically sent all these people out to war and basically had them die for the country. So that's what that scene kind of reminded me of. So I really appreciate that scene. It's like one of the best scenes to me out of the whole series.
I agree with that. I think it's a strong contender for one of the best scenes.
And also hints at this new empire. They're essentially laying the foundation for the First Order in the sequel trilogy.
Yes, I love that too.
I mean,
almost made me forget about the sequel trilogies and made me like wish for more. But then I remembered. I saw what more was.
I mean, you got at least one solid movie in The Force Awakens.
Last Jedi was pretty good. Rogue One was good. So.
I like The Last Jedi.
All right.
I like Last Jedi partly, halfway.
Last Jedi was a fun experience, but when I looked at the story and looked at the character progression, it's not good. It's just not good. I'm sorry.
It's okay to be wrong.
You can roast me in the chat, and you can roast me in the comment section below. But like Last Jedi as a story within itself, not that good.
I feel like it had potential, but they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody knew what they were doing with any of the characters. Yeah. Like all the characters in the new trilogy by themselves, in theory, are great, but they just didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
They
In
really
any of
did.
those movies.
Especially my boy Finn. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, Finn in himself, he made such great progression in Force Awakens, where you expect him to kind of step up and be a badass, and then in Last Jedi he takes 1,000 steps back and becomes the coward again that we knew back in the first movie. So it's just
Right,
like, all right,
right.
like
Well,
come on.
Yeah.
And then in the third movie,
Well, I think that was Disney like trying to find their footing with this new franchise, just throwing the entire kitchen sink at it and seeing what sticks. And with the announcements at the Disney Investors Call, I feel like they're finally got their shit together.
Yeah.
it's
Hopefully.
Because I think what they're doing is they're getting Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. I feel like they're turning them into the Kevin Feige's of Star Wars.
That's good. That's perfect.
and
Which is absolutely the right call.
yeah, by far. By far.
Yeah. So with this episode, like Jeremy mentioned, the scene between Bill Burr and the Imperial officer, very good scene. Definitely up there was like some of the best, I think, best scene in the series. Very good acting from Bill Burr. I mean, just the conversation between them about like the fact that it is a war, and it was a war, and things happened, and obviously there were a lot of awful things that happened there, and then just the travesties of what happens in war. So that really adds a nice grounded, aspect to Star Wars. Something that Rogue One did in that film, and what they did with the Cassio character, Endor character. About like he said, like I did a lot of awful things for the rebellion, and because it was in the name of the rebellion. They explored that in Last Jedi with the Benicio del Toro character, him being this arms dealer. It's like, hey, well, the rebels buy from me, the Empire buys from me. You know what I mean? There are no, truly, who's the good guy here in that situation. It's a little harder when you're going up against the Empire, which is literal Nazis. I mean, they're literally like a Nazi allegory, but to play more gray there. But just to bring in that kind of real world aspect, I think was very nice. And to see Pedro Pascal take off the helmet to show his face, and just shows how much he cares about Baby Yoda. You know what I mean? And how much he's really bonded with this. This person, over this course of this, these 2 seasons, and he'll do anything to get him back. I think it's less from a perspective of like, well, this is his mission and this is what he was tasked to do, and more about like him actually genuinely caring about the creature, you know what I mean, caring about him, which was very nice to see. The entire stuff with the, going and invading the Imperial base, and just the lead up to that, I thought was also very good. And bringing back, good Star Wars humor is when they were all discussing of who could go in the base, and you had Boba Fett saying like, well, let's just say they might recognize my face. Like, let's just say they, they might recognize me. You know what I mean? I thought that was nice.
Yeah, he did a lot of work.
Yeah,
for the Empire.
you know what I mean. So like I thought that was kind of a funny joke. You know what I mean? That was I think good Star Wars humor of them adding that in there, which I thought was a good example of that. The final scene of this episode where Mandalorian is just face to face with Moff Gideon, which this is the first time technically it's kind of been
very much repeating the speech that Gideon gave in like his first appearance.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Great callback.
Yeah, it was like word for word that exact speech. I watched that episode last night after this one.
Yeah.
It was like word for word.
I was laughing. I love that.
that
And it means so much more when he says it.
I thought that was badass. Yeah, like because we talk about Pedro Pascal being like just a great of an actor, like it's just his voice, his facial expressions, but just even in his voice, you just hear, like how angry he is, how pissed he is, how much he really cares. You know what I mean? And I thought that was great. I mean, and even I think even Giancarlo Esposito kind of looked kind of scared a little bit. He's like, oh shit. He was like, oh Jesus.
He was a little shook. It was like,
he was
oh shit. Because you have to imagine that he's he's heard the word about that base getting blown up. You have to imagine that he's heard about that.
Yeah.
And then also,
And he knows who's involved.
yeah, and then also just the fact that he was able to find him so quickly. It's just like, oh wait,
Yeah.
this man is after me.
Yeah, he probably thought for sure he lost him.
Yeah.
So,
I'm looking forward to that last episode. I am kind of, the only gripe I did have is that Bill Burr will not be joining us on the Suicide Squad in the next episode.
I kind of had that same critique about this too, because he was such a great character in this episode. I wish we could have seen his interaction.
Yeah.
But aside from that,
Well, I guess Bill Burr's gonna be in Spider-Man 3.
he'll reprise his role in Spider-Man 3. Yeah.
Spider-Man 3.
Now, what I do hope to see though is Bo-Katan, because she does have reason to be in the next episode. With
Yes.
So we'll see, but that's like the one person I hope that if they are gonna find a replacement for him, it's her and her squad, because I feel like they're gonna need them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So rating, rating for it. Chayse.
Man, y'all gonna hate me, but I give it a 10.
10.
I feel like it. Yeah, what more can I ask from the episode, dude? It's just great Star Wars. Star Wars at its finest.
I would say for me this is a solid 9 out of 10. It's a great episode on its own, but it still feels a little side questy. But it's also setting up what is going to happen in the final episode, which is next week.
Okay. Jeremy?
I'm gonna give it about 8.5. To me, the only gripe I have, I wish the episode was a little bit longer. Like it just ended. I was like, I wish we had a little more time, but I hope the next episode will be the longest one of the season. So
It better be. I'm gonna be really mad if the Spider episode is the longest episode this season.
Is there word on who's directing the final episode of the season? Is it Taika again?
I don't know. Because I can look real quick. But
yeah, IMDb. There's nothing.
yeah,
on
there's
it.
oh really?
there's nothing on who's directing.
All it has is written by John Favreau.
That mouse, man.
Yeah, he likes to keep things.
That mouse been keeping
secrets.
Yeah, keep things secret.
Yeah. For me,
It's like this is the only thing he's keeping secrets on.
for me, I'd give this episode. I'm with Jeremy, 8.5 out of 10. I think it's very good.
Y'all are haters.
Solid episode, pretty good. Good development there for the Bill Burr character. Enjoyed it, and very very good episode. All right, so moving on from discussing The Mandalorian, I'm going to discuss another TV show, big TV show on another big streaming service, Netflix, Cobra Kai. Season 3 trailer dropped. Probably forgot about it in the midst of everything that also dropped in this past week. Just Cobra Kai Season 3 did have a trailer, and it was I thought pretty nice. I thought building up things, expectations for the next season. Excitement is there. We've been watching it on this show, reviewing it. We've been big fans of it. A lot of people say when they watch it, go like, "Wow, I did not expect it to be this good." Very surprising, which was the general reaction for a lot of people. And you see in the trailer for season 3, you see a lot of the characters left off. Obviously when they had that Royal Rumble in the school and everybody was beating the shit.
Oh, that fucking
everybody,
war.
everybody was beating the shit out of each other. You see some of the repercussions of that. So you see Johnny Lawrence's son. His that character. You see him being arrested, put in prison, which is I thought you had to put him in prison because obviously of what he did. He kicked the kid.
Somebody had to go to prison. He definitely caused the most permanent damage to Miguel. He crippled the dude.
Hey, spoilers.
Yeah, he's going to jail.
So
motherfucker, if you're watching the trailer for season 3, then it's reasonably to be assumed that you've seen the first 2 seasons. Also, that shot's in the goddamn trailer.
Robbie Keane. So you had to put him in prison. You just had to do that. And then you even see scenes of him in prison.
Yeah, somebody had to go to jail.
And he tries to play. I don't know if he tries to play that karate shit in jail, and then they just go like, "Oh, we're just gonna jump you." We're just gonna jump you, man. We don't play by Bruce Lee kung fu rules here, bro. We're just gonna jump you all at once. We don't do that here.
We don't do that one at a time bullshit here.
One of us is gonna snuff you from behind, and then we're all gonna just kick the shit out of you.
Yeah. You see Miguel. You see that he's trying to train to kind of get back physical rehab, and to see like Johnny Lawrence. He's there by his side. And it kind of also harkens back to a little bit of the first season of their relationship, of them training together. Because
which was the best part of that first season. It was their dynamic.
Absolutely.
And that's kind of like the best part of the whole show. It's like their dynamic. I mean, I can't even really say best part because the whole show's great.
You know what I mean. That's one of the stronger elements of the show. So I really like that. Another big thing about this is that you see Daniel LaRusso going back to Japan, and you see two very familiar characters from the Karate Kid franchise. You see the bully from Karate Kid 2 and the main love interest from Karate Kid 2. And the love interest still looks good. Still looking fine, I will say. Very much so. And the love interest in that was Nobu McCarthy, who played Yuki. Actually no, that's not
right. No, it was Tamlin Tomito who played.
Yeah, Tamlin Tomito. I'm sorry about that. She was the love interest in that. I apologize.
And also coming back is Yuji Okumoto who played Shozen, who was the psychopathic bully that initiated a Mortal Kombat fight at the very end of Karate Kid 2.
So. That's nice. They're bringing back these characters, again, expanding the Karate Kid universe. I wonder how long this show is going to continue, and if they can bring back maybe even like Hilary Swank, if they can bring back possibly Liz.
Shit, if they bring back Terry Silver,
what I mean. I wonder, how many.
The real cameo.
I want them to bring back Terry Silver so bad. Because that dude. Because Karate Kid 3 is not a good movie. But it is so much goddamn fun with that asshole chewing up scenery.
Like, the dude was so...
It's kind of
like the dude was...
Motherfucker was a billionaire and dropped everything to fuck with a high school kid he never met.
That's what level of petty he was. You know what I mean? He is like, I gotta stop doing business things to harass a little kid. That's how petty he was.
I wonder how they try to ground him, because it's kind of like with the Creed 2 and how they grounded Ivan Drago.
You ground him by making him Donald Trump.
Wow, that would be interesting to see. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
bring that actor back with an bad orange spray tan.
I mean, that's kind of what he is.
And another big thing you see from this trailer is you see finally Daniel LaRusso and Johnny Lawrence, they're working together, and you see a nice fight scene with them. I don't know what like they're going around. I don't know what they could particularly be doing like they're just going around like Daniel LaRusso's wife said, like, what are you, Tango and Cash? You know what I mean? And they're just kind of palling around, and I don't know. I mean, moments when you saw like in season 2 or season 1 where they would kind of find some common ground with each other would kind of be some good moments in the series, because it'd be like they would.
Yeah, those were some great development from both of them, and kind of them realizing, you know what, this entire rivalry is kind of silly.
Yeah,
so,
you know what I mean?
Like, we're in our 40s, man. This is over.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you got to bury the hatchet.
I do wonder how long that they have running with this, because I feel like sooner or later
is the Tango and Cash going to be one episode, and then the next they're back at each other's throats again.
Yeah, but I feel like sooner or later the end game is probably going to be them kind of against what's his name? I can't remember the old
against Kreese.
Yeah, Kreese, because I feel like that's what they're probably going to set up to be the end game.
Yeah,
it's going to be like a tournament setting where their students together. Their loyalist students together are fighting against Kreese's, so that would be interesting to say the least.
I think the ending is gonna be them like they'll make their own dojo together. Like Johnny Lawrence, Dan Lewis, they'll probably make their own dojo together and things like that. And, you know.
Yeah.
So probably something.
And it'll be the best of both.
Yeah, you know, best of both ideologies, and they'll come together. So, I'm typically not a guy who's like shows should last super long. So I'm thinking like maybe the show's got maybe 2 more seasons. You know, just 5 seasons, probably be perfect to end it on.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Josh. I'm in the camp that no show should go over 5 seasons. Like 5 seasons is the perfect wrapping point.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So this comes out in January, right? January coming in.
January 15th was when it drops on Netflix. Hopefully all at once.
Yeah, all at once.
Because the show is it's not like a Mandalorian or The Boys where it's like it's better viewed as a long-term week to week. This show was made to be binged.
So Jeremy, I mean, I know you said you've never seen the show, but it's a quick binge. It's 30 minutes each episode. Watch it on Netflix. Quick binge.
Oh, you said 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
You could easily finish both seasons in a day.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
It's like 30
I don't
minutes,
like
8
binge watching
episodes
shows
apiece.
with long episodes, so.
Yeah. So I mean, it's
short.
quick binge, 2 seasons. Yeah, definitely. You can pile right through. Just go right through it. It's just one after the other.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
I actually saw the first episode when it was free on YouTube, I think, because it used to be a YouTube show or YouTube exclusive, what they call it.
Yeah, it was a YouTube Red, I think is what they were calling that.
Yeah.
Until the YouTube realized, shit, making originals is hard.
Yeah. And who wants to subscribe to YouTube Red? Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna subscribe to YouTube Red to do what? Watch a Logan Paul movie? What the fuck am I gonna do that for?
I forgot they made a Logan Paul movie.
Like, come on, be serious, be for real here. Come on. You know what I mean? So anyway, so excited about it. Yeah, and we're gonna be reviewing that when it comes out. And you can also check out our review of season 2, which is on our channel. We'll review season 2. Check that out. So all right, so moving on from discussing Cobra Kai, we're going to discuss big Disney presentation. Huge news that came out as we discussed Hocus Pocus 2. That's big news. But that was,
Hocus Pocus 2, Benedict Cumberbatch reprising his role as Doctor Strange in Hocus Pocus 2.
Things like that. So, but of course,
Ben Affleck's Batman appearing in Hocus Pocus.
Part of the multiverse of madness.
Johnny Sins reprising his doctor role in Hocus Pocus 2.
But
there you go.
Everybody knows, the big news to come out of it is they're going to do another Buzz Lightyear series. Chris Evans is going to voice it. This is the big news. Everybody's talking about it.
Yep, and a big thing to clarify, it's not the toy Buzz Lightyear, it's the human that the toy is based on.
Actual guy.
The guy, yeah. Chris Evans, he clarified that on Twitter and said that it's... yeah, he came out on Twitter and said, like, just to make sure, just everybody knows it's not the toy, it's who the toy is based on. The guy the toy is based on, so he wanted to make that clear.
Why would you not make okay, if that's the route you were going, why didn't you do Duke Kaboom?
I would have been that would have been kind of funny to see Duke Kaboom. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Duke Kaboom is kind of maybe too one note, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, probably too new to do.
I mean, come on, you got to do a movie about Canada's greatest stuntman.
Yeah.
Just so we get more videos of Keanu Reeves in the studio, just doing.
Oh, that'll be a joyous thing to watch.
Jeremy, so what do you think about just to talk about it real quick, what do you think about the Buzz Lightyear stuff?
So I have to admit, at first I was not excited about this because I'm a huge Toy Story fan. I watched all the movies. I've seen the first one. I think that was actually the first one I seen in theaters. So that's like Toy Story is like my favorite franchise, even above Star Wars and Marvel. So I was kind of like, really? Because after the last one, I was like, I thought we were done with Toy Story after.
Yeah, I was amazed that just Toy Story 4, like, everything about that movie says, this shit's gonna suck. And then you see the movie and, oh my god, it's amazing.
Right, it's amazing. We're like, when we first heard that was coming out, we were like, really? Because after Toy Story 3, I thought we were done.
Really? The story wrapped up in 3.
Yeah, I thought we were done. So, I mean, I'm curious about it. the only thing about it is kind of like we've been down this road before with
Right.
the animated show, the animated series,
Yeah.
cartoon that came out on Saturday mornings.
Yeah, I never
But
watched
if they
that.
can make it,
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear: A Star Command. There's like a direct-to-video animated
Yeah.
movie, and there was a series.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Did you watch that,
Yeah.
Jeremy? You watched that?
yeah, I watched it.
I
It was
had
pretty.
I had that movie on VHS back when those were still a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Okay.
I liked the show and the straight to DVD movie. If it's matter of fact, Zurg, they made him more of a comedic villain, so I thought that was pretty funny.
Okay.
He's always like frustrated with Buzz Lightyear. It's pretty hilarious.
Right. And he like had his own Guardians of the Galaxy squad or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, he had his own team.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was almost like how they did with Woody. You know how they did with Woody in the second one, where they gave him his own like crew. That's what they did with Buzz Lightyear in the TV show.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you
Yeah.
think they'll probably just do something like that with this?
I'm curious because I don't know. I think I do know they'll probably have Zurg in it. You gotta have Emperor Zurg in there because he's just like, he's just like the main guy to have as the villain for Buzz Lightyear. So I know they probably have him in there.
Okay.
They might have the crew. I don't know because
I'm more
Pixar
curious.
usually when they do movies, they're trying to do something new. So I would like to see the old crew.
Okay.
I would like to see new characters too. So
Okay. Yeah. Do you care about?
and Chris Evans, he's a good choice.
Do you care about the voice change?
To be honest, I don't mind it because it's not the actual toy, and I don't mind it. And I kind of like the idea of Buzz getting his own movie because I really feel like they haven't really done anything with Buzz since the first one. Like he's always the guy that's always
Yeah,
saving.
the first movie was Buzz's
Yeah, it
story.
was Buzz's story.
And everything else has just been mostly following. Woody.
Right, and then they're always
It wasn't-
separate.
They were 2 and 3 were ensembles, but they were always going back to Woody.
Right. So it's nice to see something focused on just him. So it'll be interesting. And it's Pixar doing a space opera, Star Wars, Star Trek level. So I think it'll be good.
Okay. All right. So out of some of the big trailers that they dropped, one of them was the Loki trailer. So this is the first trailer we see of the Loki series coming on Disney Plus. So first impressions, Chayse, from it?
I'm a lot more excited for it than I initially was. Just to see.
Yeah, that trailer, I don't know what the fuck is going on, and I'm hyped.
Yeah, that's kind of just my impression too, because just to see where they can go. Because now, I mean, obviously Loki's not free to go just wherever he pleases, but they're gonna be using him to go throughout time and space to do missions and stuff. That sounds pretty cool.
And it's good that they're not they're doing a very different Loki than the one that's from Ragnarok
Yeah.
and from Endgame.
Yeah.
Or Thor: The Dark World. This is a guy who hasn't gone through those same journeys as the Loki that we know.
Yeah, he's still
That's true.
he's still evil.
Yeah. This is
So it'll be interesting to see.
fresh off of trying to conquer New York, Loki. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which the trailer.
Fresh
that's
off
right.
that ass
That's right.
beat.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you see, like you said, Owen Wilson. You see him called part of an agency called the TVA. And I don't know. I haven't heard of this before. This organization from the comics before. I don't believe I haven't. Have you ever heard about this organization from the comics at all, Nick? At all? Or?
I'll be honest. Comics-wise, I was more DC than Marvel.
Oh, okay. So you do have Owen Wilson, who looks a lot older. Like, how old is Owen Wilson now? Anyway.
He's got me in his 50s.
Owen Wilson's got to be in his 50s.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And
Wow.
Born in 60.
yeah. Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Who does a better wow? Keanu Reeves or Owen Wilson?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson has
Owen Wilson
has
He
a
puts more
full
emotion
compilation.
into
has personality.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson has personality
Yes.
with his wow.
Yeah, each character
offense
has
to
a different
Keanu.
wow. Not everybody has range like that.
Wow.
That's true. He does have range with his wows. Oh, okay.
Wow.
So you see part of this organization that we see, and you see obviously Loki's also traveling through time. You also see possible head of this organization is Gugu Mbatha-Raw, which is probably the best name to say in all of Hollywood. Gugu Mbatha-Raw. It's a good name to say. Like I said, it's. I think this jumped to kind of one of my top of the list of like series I'm most excited for, because it's like I was really excited to see like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier, but seeing how trippy this is, the time travel aspects of it, him possibly going to these different dimensions, that is very exciting. You see that like they're him playing with time, because you see one scene here, he's on an airplane. Where he kind of looks like D.B. Cooper, if anybody knows who D.B. Cooper is. If people don't know, so D.B. Cooper was the guy who hijacked aircraft. This was like in the 70s, I believe, and then he jumped off the plane, and the FBI was searching for this guy for years.
He escaped, and they
never found this guy, like, ever. You know what I mean? He's still is just a mystery of who this guy ever was and everything. And it seems like they're playing with that, like him being this person. And then you see him jump out the airplane, and you see the Bifrost Bridge catch him as he's jumping from the airplane. And that's also kind of interesting, because how is kind of Asgard going to play a role in this show as well, and what they're going to do. What him being taken up by the Bifrost Bridge, what indication was that to you at all, like of how Asgard is going to play a role in this show?
I think like this is like between shit, I have no idea. Like I said before with this trailer, I have no clue what's going on, and I'm hyped. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And I love the tone it's taking, because this is being showrun by Michael Waldron, who was a writer on Rick and Morty.
Oh, really?
Nice.
Huh. Now I'm even more interested.
I think it does a great job of showing us enough to be hooked, but not enough to, obviously
give anything away. Yeah. Just like Mandalorian, I think Marvel is playing all the plots and really close to the vest as far as how they're cutting their trailers.
Yeah, and I think that's the smart.
Because they're not giving anything away. They're giving enough for like nerds like us to start theory crafting and to get us excited, but not enough to actually speculate on what the story's going to be.
That's a lot of questions.
So here it says, right, in the comics, it is a thing from the comics, the TVA. The TVA in the comics is Time Variance Authority. This is a vast interstellar and multidimensional bureaucracy formed in the distant future that has assigned itself the job of monitoring the omniverse and keeping all various timelines in working order. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that I feel like is going to play a much bigger role, because this series is supposed to link to Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Okay.
That's interesting.
And also you have Kang the Conqueror coming up in Ant-Man 3. So how are they gonna play it? I feel like if there isn't gonna be a singular villain in this next phase of Marvel, it's gonna be potentially the TVA. And another sense that also they're right. The Avengers kind of fucked up the multiverse with the time travel.
Yeah. So they have to go back and repair it. This is coming out in May 2021. It's going to consist of only 6 episodes, things like that.
I feel like that's a good length, 6-hour-long episodes.
Yeah,
it's a good length.
Yeah. So it's very, very interesting to see. Yeah, like I said, with this and them going, like being part of this agency that is going to travel all throughout these dimensions, and how Loki's going to play a part in that. Very good stuff. Yeah, I'm very excited for this.
It's funny.
Yep.
Oh, it's funny he mentioned Kang the Conqueror, because I don't know if you guys noticed. Did you guys notice like a guy under a cloak throughout the trailer?
Yeah.
There's like
I didn't.
Oh yeah, this is.
You didn't notice that? There's like a guy holding a lantern, and then like he's in front of a TV monitors. I don't know if it's TV monitors in the TVA, but there's someone in a cloak. It almost looks like it's Doctor Doom, but I know it's not Doctor Doom, so I'm assuming it's some sort of maybe future villain that they're teasing.
Okay.
hopefully, because hey, Marvel's always great about teasing what's coming in the future.
Yeah.
In their shows and their movies.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
So maybe that's setting up Kang for Ant-Man, or maybe setting up another big villain, maybe setting up Doctor Doom, because another big announcement is they announced John Watts is director of Spider-Man Far From Home and Homecoming. He's directing the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Yeah, he's directing Fast.
Yeah, which I think that's actually a really interesting choice. I mean, I really like his work on Far From Home and Homecoming, and I really love his indie movie that he did before that, Cop Car.
Is he still doing the
third one? Yeah.
The Multiverse of Madness Spider-Man edition?
Yeah.
Yes,
featuring Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Yes, he is directing Spider-Man 3, starring Jamie Foxx, Alfred Molina, and cameo appearance by Tom Holland.
So is this the first time that's happened, like in the MCU with the director? Like he's taken on both two like franchises?
Yeah, I think directors have come back for sequels. I think this is the first time he's come back for two separate movies.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
That's the first time. Yeah, I think. That's
well, I guess if you want to count Cap's trilogy as its own separate kind of thing. And
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
okay.
Avengers,
Oh, all right.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
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 With the Russo brothers,
Oh,
because
yeah,
they did hop from
yeah.
they hopped from
Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Winter Soldier. They didn't do the first
To
Cap.
Avengers.
Did
No,
they?
that was Joe Johnson.
No, that was
Joe Johnston.
Okay.
Yeah, that was him.
And then they hopped into Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No casting news has been
That was a
announced
good
for
move.
Fantastic Four. Nothing like that.
Who would you guys like to see cast in that?
Fantastic Four?
I'm curious. Yeah, because that's like one of the debates with this. Because John Watts is directing, great, but who are they going to cast? Which is my curiosity.
I keep
Honestly,
seeing the
John
fan
Krasinski.
art being like John
Krasinski,
Krasinski.
Emily Blunt, and things like that. Sue Storm.
I'm not mad at those choices, but you know.
I'm not mad at those choices. I feel like those are too typical for Marvel.
Yeah, that's true. I just don't want a young cast like they did with the previous film. Like get someone like around the other heroes' age, like Robert Downey Jr.'s age, somewhere around that.
Yeah.
See, I feel like I got a pretty good fan cast
Okay.
on my own.
Oh, who?
Okay, so for Reed Richards, Bill Hader.
Okay.
For Sue Storm, Betty Gilpin or Gillian Jacobs.
Okay.
Johnny Storm, either Tanner Buchanan from Cobra Kai, who played Robbie,
He'd be. I mean,
or Jacob Elordi from Euphoria.
wouldn't he be too young? Maybe too young.
Well, Tanner,
And Laz Alonso as Ben Grimm.
that'd be sick.
That would actually be a good choice.
The only one, Tanner does look a little too young to play him, but he is around that age.
He is supposed to be Sue Storm's younger brother.
Okay.
It can work.
I could see it.
Right. And then
I could see it, especially with Jillian Jacobs.
so and then the whole thing is like Sue, Reed, and Ben all supposed to have gone to school together, right?
I don't know.
That is true.
Yeah, like I think.
Oh, it's from comic books.
Yeah, like in the comic books, I think they
Okay.
they in some version.
Yeah, they're childhood lifelong
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah, they
Aren't they all astronauts? Isn't that how they get their powers?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Like Johnny was a pilot and things like he was the pilot and everything like that, and the rest were like scientists and things. Yeah, astronauts. Yeah. So, yeah. But I mean, there's some good choice. Alonzo is the Thing. I mean, he's certainly built like the Thing. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no cast.
Yeah, Jacob Elordi, I think he's a good actor that has kind of gotten shit material to work with besides Euphoria, and it'd be nice to see him play an actual decent human being. Well, quote unquote.
That's true.
I could actually really see Bill Hader as Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, because you gotta have with the MCU, you gotta have a guy with comedic chops, but you also for Reed, you have to play a little bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
Bill
he'll be
Hader is
perfect
great
for
at.
that.
Yeah.
He'll be perfect.
Yeah.
Who would you have as Doctor Doom?
Now that's
Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
huh.
Yeah, because Matt Mickelson already did Doctor Strange. He already did the villain.
That's true.
Yeah, they blew their Mads Mikkelsen casting.
He might reprise it in Spider-Man 3.
Hey, you never know.
Everybody's reprising
Everybody's going
in
there.
Spider-Man 3. Shit, we might even get the same cast from the original Fantastic Four movie reprising their roles.
Yeah, Chris Evans as Human Torch in Spider-Man 3.
Cap, is that
And
you?
then there'll be like a meta joke where they're like, "Oh wait, you look very familiar."
I'm not too sure about John.
No, do like American Horror Story. Have characters reprise roles that look identical and not address it.
That's always weird when they do that. I'm not too sure about.
I'm only mad.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm only mad that we never got that good classic Sherlock joke between Iron Man and Doctor Strange.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Everybody like the writing was there. They could have done it.
And
They
no
had too
joke
many
about the
scenes
3
together.
Chris's.
Yeah. Not one no shit Sherlock moment at all.
Oh, Doctor Doom, either Mads Mikkelsen or Tom Ellis from Lucifer.
Oh,
Tom Ellis will actually be a
see
good
that.
yeah,
choice.
that'd be pretty good.
Like he'll be the charismatic Doctor Doom.
Yeah. John Watts directing Fantastic Four. I like his Spider-Man movies. I don't love them per se, but I do like them. I'd be kind of interested to see what he does there with it. Would you want to see it in the 60s, the Fantastic Four movie, or would you want to see it in present day, or would you want to see it like
Depends
was
on what they do in
imagining
the
it.
60s.
I was imagining it in present day because it's hard for me to buy them not being involved for some
Right. Yeah.
Also, because a big thing in the comic book is the dynamic between Johnny Storm and Peter Parker, and how like they're like really close friends in the comics, and I kind of want to see that dynamic in the MCU.
That'd be pretty cool.
All right. So
Also, because you need somebody to fill the Tony Stark and Cap vacuum that is left in the MCU now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So just real quick, just to discuss. So with Black Panther 2, they won't be recasting Chadwick Boseman. They made that official. They won't
Right
be doing
call.
that.
Yeah.
So go around real quick. So does everybody agree that was a good call or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, any other call would have been really disrespectful to Chadwick Boseman. May he rest in peace.
There's some conversation.
It's a good move.
There's some conversation about it. A lot of people kind of split on it. A lot of people say like, I still want to see the Black Panther character. But I'm like, well, you just won't be seeing T'Challa as Black Panther. I mean, you can still see Black Panther because Black Panther's just a mantle that somebody takes up.
I mean, there was already a written out for if anything happened to Chadwick, because the Black Panther is a mantle that's passed warrior to warrior.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
So there's already been multiple Black Panthers throughout history of Wakanda, and there will be in the future.
Right.
So I mean, obviously because of circumstances, and people bring up it's like, well, they've had 15 different James Bonds and they have all these different Batmans. Yeah, but no actor died. Like Sean Connery didn't die before he made the second Bond movie, and they had to scramble to find another Bond. Michael Keaton didn't die, after Batman Returns, and then that's the reason they had to recast it, for Batman Forever. It's just like he stepped down. So, and people bring up the closest example people can bring up is like Joker with Heath Ledger in Dark Knight.
Yeah, but they didn't bring him back.
Yeah, they never brought him
Dark
back.
Knight
He was
Rises.
a one and done type deal.
Yeah, and they waited like 8 years later until there was another Joker in Suicide Squad, Jared Leto. So that was like a close to it.
And honestly, after that movie, they should have waited longer.
Yeah.
So this is nothing really that comparable, really, of this type of situation. Because
I mean, they're probably gonna do something where he's not gonna be there. Like maybe his character died in the movie. They'll do like a funeral or something. I don't know.
I mean, the closest comparison I can think of is maybe The Crow with Brandon Lee.
Oh yeah.
How he died during the production of that movie, and they like shot around his death.
Yeah.
I'm just happy I don't have to write this because I have no idea how you do it.
Yeah.
honestly.
It's tough. tough. Yeah, I mean, but we'll see what happens.
Yep, I do not envy Ryan Coogler and company.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I imagine
because like as much as I want to see like Wakanda and I want to see like the war between them and Namor, it's just like, you know, I don't want to see it without Chadwick. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's with this the characters that were established in the actual Black Panther movie proper were interesting enough to kind of stand away from T'Challa.
That's true.
That's true. So here's my thing though, right?
At least in that movie.
I understand that there are external issues of why we can't continue T'Challa's story, but T'Challa's story in the original Black Panther is him owning and becoming the Black Panther.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have to go through that whole process again with a new character, whether that be Shuri, whether they make M'Baku the Black Panther. It'll probably be Shuri. I think it should be Shuri, but you know, it's just like
I think the struggle of that is her accepting that role and passing it on to somebody else who isn't ready, and then her have to reluctantly take it.
Reluctantly take the role. Deciding, you know, nobody in Wakanda should take vaccines. You know, it'd be a very, very interesting time for the character, you know what I mean, for all of Wakanda.
no comment. No push forward.
All right, so discuss another big trailer that came out, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. And I will say from this trailer, Falcon looks cooler than he did in any of the movies. Again, goes to show that big budget TV budget we've been talking about with these Marvel shows, Star Wars shows, these Disney shows on this Disney Plus. Like, he looks a lot cooler than he did in any of the movies.
By far.
Yeah, looks way more comic accurate than he did, and it's going to come out in March of 2021, and you see the combination of the Winter Soldier with Sebastian Stan, Anthony Mackie, Falcon. You also see Daniel Bruhl, who's going to be Baron Zemo in this. He has an appearance in this. Also, I read there's
Wyatt Russell, who is a U.S. agent, who is the government-approved Captain America replacement.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, they're like, well, come on, man. You realize that a black guy can't be the face of America. I mean, what do you think this is? I mean, come on, bro. You're black. I mean, come on.
This is America.
You know what I mean? This is America. I mean, there's no black in that flag. I mean, you know, it's red, white, and blue. I mean,
suddenly, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is more relevant now. It's like, a black man is Captain America.
And Florence,
I just want to see like the MCU's Fox News take on that story.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be.
Hey, bring in J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh yeah. Oh, he'd totally be very, very, you know, pro white Captain America. You know, him and Megyn Kelly can have a whole segment. You know, 15 reasons why Captain America can only be white. Here are the reasons. So I mean, what are general impressions on the show? Everybody want to go around and give their general impressions on the trailer here?
This was one of the shows I was the most excited for because it's bringing back characters like Sam and Bucky, who kind of didn't get a whole lot to do in the MCU after Captain America Winter Soldier, and tonally it looked like the show was taking a lot of cues from that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they did have that same rapport that they seem to have in here in Civil War, where you get to see them kind of like joke around a little bit, and I'm looking forward to that. Same way.
And I think this is going to be a more action-heavy show because this is written by Derek Kolstad, who wrote the John Wick series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Chase, what are your thoughts on it?
I'm looking forward to it, especially now that I know that the dude who wrote the John Wick series is writing it. It should be a lot of fun. I also think that them tackling, well, I don't know if they're gonna exactly tackle racism, but the idea and the prospect of them, even just through the visual of them neglecting a black superhero, the role of Captain America when the actual Captain America passed him the shield. I think that'll be interesting. And I'm also just looking forward to just seeing the two, both Falcon and Bucky just go back and forth and talk shit.
Yeah, because they had the best dynamic they had a great dynamic in their small scenes together and their small appearances, and I'm glad that they're getting a full series to flesh that out.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I admit this after all the trailers that came out, this is the least one I'm looking forward to. But I'm interested to see what they're gonna bring to the table. I'm really curious about Falcon because we really didn't get to know much about his character except for not the Winter Soldier. She was the Winter Soldier, the second one.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what they're gonna talk about with him, and even with the Winter Soldier himself, just have him, I guess, process being in the modern day because he's been brainwashed for like the past 70 years. So I'm wondering if they're going to tackle like mental issues with him.
Continuing like his small story from Civil War. It's like flesh out what he was doing those couple years he was on the run, and potentially dealing with the fact that as far as the U.S. government is concerned, Bucky is still a domestic terrorist.
Oh, that's true.
I think.
Yeah.
That wasn't straightened out in the not in Infinity War. He was still hidden in Wakanda, so.
Yeah.
Like, who knows? Maybe they deal with the fallout of him coming back from Endgame.
Yeah.
Yada yada.
Yada.
Did you guys want to? So, how did you guys like the WandaVision trailer?
I liked it.
Another show. I have no idea what's happening, and I want to see it.
I like what's going on.
I like that they're bringing in other characters that'll be set up because they brought in Monica Rambeau, who is the older version of the daughter character from Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Like that you see Jimmy Woo, Randall Park, coming back from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, Darcy.
I like that the MCU's getting more mind-bendy.
Yeah.
Which I think for a character like Wanda is exactly what you need to do to like finally set up what her actual powers are.
That's true.
Do you think the people in the kind of realm she's created, or do you think those are actually going to be people that exist, or like she may have accidentally brought these people into her realm? Because there were moments where like one character was just like, oh, I don't know who I am. Like, what am I doing here? And
I think it's like people try to break through that little dimension she's created, and she's just so powerful that it like gives them amnesia.
Do you think it's
when they walk in? It's reminding me. Did you guys watch Young Justice at all?
I haven't gotten far enough.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember an episode in the first season? It was like they did a alien invasion episode, and it was like they killed the entire Justice League, and it was a mental exercise, but it went wrong because Miss Martian took over the entire thing and left them all trapped in it. I'm getting a lot of those similar vibes from this trailer.
So do you think Wanda's the villain, or do you think it's the Catherine Hahn character who's the villain?
It could be either.
It can be someone else.
Like they're setting up Catherine Hahn as the one who's causing all of this, but the last episode is revealed it's Wanda.
Yeah, she's gotta become the Scarlet Witch at some point.
Yeah.
So.
And this is also supposed to tie into Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
So
to be
I think
honest,
it makes sense.
Yeah, Wanda lost a lot of people. Like she lost her brother too in the first Avengers movie she appeared in. So I can see her having some type of trauma and just her powers are just going crazy. Like the girl from from Phoenix.
Not to mention she was experimented on by essentially Nazis for potentially years.
Lost her parents.
Dealing with the fallout of losing her brother and losing Vision too in Infinity War.
Lost her parents too. So
So in this trailer, they're of course they're doing, like we've seen many of the trailers, that aspect, the 50s aspect, the 60s aspect of sitcoms. I mean, they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess makes sense because considering that Wanda's from Sokovia and like TV takes a couple years to circulate around the world.
Yeah.
So that's what she would have seen growing up, and those are like what she internalizes.
This is definitely very, very interesting as we see. So we see like. So did anybody think that Vision is like really there, or do we think that Vision is just a figment of her imagination?
Figment.
Probably Figment.
Okay.
I think she like pulled him from another dimension potentially.
Oh, that's true too. I feel like they'll bring him back somehow.
So here's why
I would say that because I would say Figment because like Vision clearly still has the Mind Stone.
Yeah, and then also,
right.
And you see that in the trailer.
Point.
And then also, I don't know if alternate dimension Vision would still be down to be in this weird fantasy that she set up, because he'd probably be more concerned and be more so like.
If the fantasy is powerful enough, then I don't think he would be aware.
Yes, sure.
But I don't know, because in the trailer they say like, who's doing this to you, and I think it's Monica Rambeau's character to, Wanda's character. So it makes me think like Catherine Hahn's the big, manipulator here possibly, and she's trying to do something here to get her powers maybe, or maybe do something like that. I don't know, but it's very interesting. I like with these series, you don't fully know. What's really going on, what's happening, things like that.
Yeah, a lot of questions.
Yeah, so, her trapped in this suburbia kind of element is very interesting. And you see, like, her using more of her abilities, Scarlet Witch's, ability, you see her flying, you know what I mean, which is more, very, very much like the Scarlet Witch character we see in the comics. And you see a lot of other characters who've appeared in other things before, which, like a lot of these, in these Disney Plus series, they have a direct connection to the movies, not like the Marvel Netflix shows. Like you see Darcy from the...
Yeah, they're part of the phase.
Like you see Darcy, who was in the Thor Ragnarok movies, who's played by, what's the actress's name? Kat Dennings. So you see her. Like in the Falcon Winter Soldier show, Florence Pugh, she's gonna be in that. Who's gonna be? She's in. I thought that they said she was also in the Falcon.
Yeah, she's gonna be in Hawkeye. Emily Van Camp, who is Agent 13 in Winter Soldier and Civil War, she's coming back.
Okay, she's so like characters like that, like so they're gonna be in these different shows who've appeared in the movies. So that's very interesting to see. So I mean, this is coming out in January. Very excited to see this. Very excited to see what they'll do with this one, especially. I think this one is still top for me. Just to see how much it connects with the Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So I'm very, very interested to see what this do. And they've just dropped all this, so they said there's going to be 10 new Marvel shows, correct? 10 new Marvel shows, 10 new Star Wars shows, and 15 new Pixar animated shows.
Yep.
Yes.
Animated series and movies.
And Disney.
They dropped.
They revealed everything.
Mickey pulled out his dick and just started dropping loads.
They're like, we got some stuff coming out finally.
They have to.
Yeah, hey, remember what we sold Disney Plus?
They have to raise excitement again, because everybody was like, okay, well, what else you got other than Mandalorian? You need to raise some excitement to this, for people to subscribe.
Right.
Yeah, the series has been out for the streaming service has been out for a year. You've got The Mandalorian and Hamilton.
Well,
you need more.
Well, they got the High School Musical series. That I heard that's pretty fire. A lot of people watch that all the time.
I didn't know that was a thing until you mentioned it.
It's a thing.
All right, so moving on from the WandaVision trailer, we're going to discuss some animation, something Jeremy knows a lot about himself. So, Jeremy, what did you think of the What If trailer here?
I liked it. It's interesting. I like that we're getting. So they're referencing some stuff in the comics. I do know Marvel Zombies. It's a thing. So I like how they're referencing that. Some of the other stuff
they're doing like Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
They're playing around with continuity in the MCU, which thank God, because you finally have an outlet to play around with the continuity with canon. Where you can do whatever the fuck you want, which is like one of the problems I have with Marvel, with DC, with Star Wars, with the X-Men, because they do things and you have to wonder, is this canon? Is this not? What from the outside material is relevant here? What isn't?
Yeah.
And with What If, you have room to go nuts.
Yeah, they're basically doing anything.
Anything
and everything.
Because you see from the trailer, we see instead of Captain America, it's Captain Britain with Haley Atwell. Who,
Yeah, it's Haley Atwell reprising her role as Peggy.
The animation of it looks really gorgeous. I like this animation.
Yeah, I like the animation.
It's a different animation style, which thank God it's not. It's not it's kind of like CG, but also like cell shaded.
Yeah, it's cell shaded. It reminds me of a Iron Man cartoon that came out early 2000s or late. Came out like Nickelodeon. It was about Iron Man when he was a teenager. As a similar
Iron
style.
Man Armored Adventures. Yeah, it's reminding me a lot of that.
We also see T'Challa. We see instead of Peter Quill, he's the one that gets taken, and he's the one that becomes Star-Lord. There is Chadwick Boseman voicing.
He is.
Yeah, I heard that's his last role that he'll play. Oh, far as I know.
So that looks that'd be really cool, interesting to see. We also see I guess we see Haley Atwell's Captain Britain riding on like a Iron Man suit, like with I guess Howard Stark is Iron Man in this universe. I guess they.
No, they leaked it before. It was like when it was first announced. It was skinny Steve Rogers as Iron Man.
Oh, he's Iron Man.
Okay.
That's funny.
That's pretty nice. Yeah.
You do see skinny Steve Rogers in the trailer, so.
Yeah. I wonder how they're gonna tie that together.
You see the Watcher here. I guess the Watcher.
Yeah.
The Watcher is voiced by Jeffrey Wright, who I'm always happy to see that guy.
Oh, really? Nice.
Because I feel like he has, and especially voice work, because he has one of those voices that he can take the silliest shit and make you take it seriously.
I wonder if the Watcher's gonna be kind of like a what's the word? I'm trying to think of the names of the characters I'm thinking of, but kind of like, you know how like the Twilight Zone always have that
he's kind of
he'll
like
introduce another story.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
the narrator a little bit.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
the narrator.
Hopefully, I think I'm kind of getting like a Mr. Nobody vibes from Doom Patrol with him. Like he's the omnipotent narrator.
Yeah. I was just thinking that. I was just thinking
that.
The Watcher would be the one to introduce all these different segments, every segment, to see this new adventures here. You see Captain Marvel, you see Thor, you see Doctor Strange, you see like Jeremy brought up Marvel Zombies, Zombified Captain America. You also see Nick Fury here. So I really love this animation style. It looks really gorgeous. I really like it a lot. And definitely something. Yeah. You also see Benicio del Toro's character from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this one as well. Just to see all these different stories they do with this. Very, very nice. Chayse, what are your general impressions on it?
It's definitely this and Loki are probably in WandaVision are probably the three that I'm like most excited about. Just because of the possibilities and just all like the very loose comic threads that they can kind of tie into the Marvel universe. I find any of that exciting. And just what if, man? Yo, what if? It's such an interesting question, you know?
What if? Okay. And you see Doctor Strange fighting Doctor Strange here.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure that was like a vampire Doctor Strange, right?
It didn't really say it was just
Strange,
yeah. Well, I know that his hair is different. His hair color is a lot darker.
Yeah, and his skin
so.
is a lot paler. One of those.
Oh, maybe
Like,
it is.
what if Dormammu like took his shape and fought back?
All right.
Because it kind of looked like they were fighting in the dark dimension.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Another real quick thing, they did a Ms. Marvel sizzle reel kind of, so just showing some little early footage, a little background, behind the scenes stuff with them talking about the Ms. Marvel series that's going to come to Disney.
Yep. Introducing Iman Vellani to us, because this is her feature, her first time acting, which we broke this down a couple weeks ago. I'm looking forward to it, and they announced that she's going to be in Captain Marvel 2 as well.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Bringing it full circle.
That's very nice. So yeah, it's just a short little thing, them discussing the impact of this character. This character is very relatively new. She debuted along with like Miles Morales, so she's only like maybe
Miles Morales, Riri Williams. She was part of the newest age of Marvel.
And they're also doing
so they're bringing like the newer Marvel characters.
They're doing an Ironheart TV show.
And they're
yes, they already casted Riri.
Yes, they are.
Riri
They announced
Williams.
Dominique Thorne from. She was in something great last year.
If Beale Street Could Talk.
She was in If Beale Street Could Talk.
Really?
And she's also going to be in Judas and the Black Messiah later this year. And she's playing Riri Williams.
So yeah, they're gonna do an iHeart series. So yeah, this was just a little sizzle reel stuff they showed about the whole process, about the talent, creative force behind it. So obviously since it's a Pakistani superhero, they have a lot of Pakistani creatives involved in the process of the show, and the making of it, producers, directors, things like that. And like Nick said, she's also going to be in Captain Marvel 2. So I've heard. I haven't never read a Ms. Marvel comic, but I know she is very, very popular. And her and Miles Morales were two like the big standouts from when they did that whole introduction of like these new lineup of characters. They were the two big standouts from them. All right. Anybody else have any thoughts on Ms. Marvel, the series, anything?
I hope it's good.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, same. Hopefully they can like retroactively make Captain Marvel a better or more interesting character, because they really didn't do that in her own movie and in Avengers Endgame.
No.
Which I'm glad that Nia DaCosta, who is directing the upcoming Candyman reboot, she's getting the shot for Captain Marvel 2, and I think she's a better director than the duo that we got last time.
Yeah, she's directing Candyman, not Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
Okay, people. She's directing Candyman, not Jordan Peele.
Sad that we didn't get. I'm sad that we didn't get any more like trailer or anything for Shang-Chi.
Oh, that's
which
right.
was one of my most anticipated for next year.
Yeah.
Because that's supposed to come out July 9th, 2021.
I'm really excited about that one.
Okay, so also some other news that came out we can run through. It is officially now confirmed. Kevin Feige said it. Orphan Black's Tatiana Maslany, she's going to be in She-Hulk. So that's official now. There you go. They've done it.
Also, Tim Roth is replying his role as the Abomination, and Mark Ruffalo will appear.
Nice.
To what capacity? We don't know.
So yeah, they're gonna do that. So that.
Haley Steinfeld is officially Kate Bishop in Hawkeye. Also appearing in that are Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova and Vera Farmiga, and Tony Dalton, who is Lalo Salamanca in Better Call Saul.
We see set photos of Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop, everything like that. Looks pretty nice. It seems like some people say they're drawn from the Matt Fraction run of Hawkeye. They're drawn from that run. Yeah,
which is awesome.
That's supposed to premiere next fall, the Hawkeye TV series. Doing that. Let's see, they're going to do a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, which comes out in 2022, so 2 years from now, in December. Around that time, they're going to do a holiday special, which is probably, I don't know, maybe necessary since Guardians of the Galaxy 3 isn't coming out till all the way till 2023. So that'd be a long time to wait for a sequel to the second one. So that's a while, yeah. So they probably have to remind people.
Well, things happen which would understandably cause a delay.
Yeah, you know, so that'd be pretty fun. Let's see what else. The War Machine Nick Fury series. Gave an update on that they're doing.
Yeah, Nick Fury series is Secret Invasion.
But that's gonna be
Ben
fun.
Mendelsohn is reprising his role as Talos,
which I like the chemistry between him and Talos.
Which,
Ben Mendelsohn, that's pretty fun. So I'm excited to see that. I'm surprised they called it.
I'm kind of shocked they turned it into a TV show.
I like that, and I like that it looks like in this series they're getting into the evil Skrulls, because Ben Mendelsohn, it looks like his people, we're the good guys. We're not like them.
Jeremy, what were you gonna say?
It's like dealing with.
I was saying I was surprised they're going to turn it into a TV show, because the Skrull invasion, that's a pretty big Marvel story. That's like one of their biggest ones. But I think it'll work better for a TV
Invasion
show.
is like one of their bigger stories.
Yeah.
In the comics.
Maybe they'll do it as a TV show, see the response, maybe turn it into a movie or incorporate it into a movie. Maybe they'll do something like that, possibly. With I forgot to mention with the Ms. Marvel thing. So, are they going with the storyline? She's going to be an Inhuman or no?
I have no idea.
Who knows, man?
I don't know. My biggest question about Ms. Marvel though was, is the TV show coming before the second movie? Because I feel like it makes more sense for them to make it after the second movie, so that she's properly introduced, and we're also done being introduced to Captain Marvel. Because I still don't feel like she's.
Well, Miss Marvel is on IMDb. Miss Marvel is slated for next year, and Captain Marvel 2 is 2022.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, they could still make it work, but I still feel like Captain Marvel doesn't have enough, like, in the world to be for Miss Marvel to, properly idol her. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, they'll probably.
We still need another movie about her.
Well,
that's me.
I mean, it can work with the
the
right direction and with the decent enough writing.
Okay.
It's just me. But Captain Marvel doesn't have any public exposure in their world.
I mean, you never know. They could introduce it. And
that's true.
Like in the TV show is like, well, she was part of the big battle and she helped fight Thanos and things like that. They can introduce.
I guess.
Yeah, she turned the tide of the battle against Thanos.
I guess if they do have some random stray footage of that insane battle,
somebody was recording on the hill, World Star, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
things like that.
Yeah.
Also, moving on. Big news. Academy Award winner Christian Bale is going to be in Thor: Love and Thunder as the villain Thor the God Butcher.
Which a lot of people,
that's
a lot of people predicted that he would probably play that role. A lot of people was hoping that he would play that role, and that.
I was hoping that he would be Beta Ray Bill, but okay, you can get these big name actors to come and be a villain for a movie, and they can go on to in their mind bigger and better things. And I just love the photoshops of like Fat Thor sitting in the apartment from American Psycho.
I mean, I don't know.
Hey, it worked for Kate Blanchett.
I mean, Gore the God Butcher. I mean, that's like you can just get back in his physique from what was that movie? The movie where he got really, really skinny.
Batman?
What?
Oh,
The Machinist.
The
He
Machinist.
get back in his machinist shape. Or
I don't know if he can physically do that anymore.
Yeah, he's a little too old for that now.
Well, what if he just gets back in his
maybe like
shape from The Fighter?
I mean,
they can just do CG.
I mean, even in The Fighter, like you take his shirt off, his body's not in bad shape.
Well, yeah, he's got that crackhead strength, maybe crackhead muscles. Yeah, he could. I mean, Jeremy, you say you could do a CGI, but Christian Bale, he's a real method actor. He's got to get into it. He's got to, What's the point of doing just?
He's not above doing mocap. He did it for Andy Serkis's Jungle Book movie. He did it for the Andy Serkis one.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, he was yeah, he played the
One of the wolves, right?
God. No, he was fuck, I can't remember. He was yeah, he did Moog. Yeah, he was Bagheera.
Yes, yeah.
In Andy Serkis's Mowgli. So he's not above doing motion capture.
Yeah. But he actually
It's Marvel. They'll
But he
do
actually
CG.
lived amongst actual, panthers. He actually lived among them. You know what I mean? For at least,
He became a panther for the role.
Maybe Marvel will send him into space.
he actually joined. He actually
merged.
joined LA's chapter of the Black Panthers to actually immerse himself in the role of being a Black Panther. That's how method Christian Bale is. That's what he did for that role. And so. That's all the real big Marvel news that they did, and then after they were done announcing all the big Marvel news, then came the big Star Wars news that they announced. So Ahsoka Tano, like everybody pretty much assumed, she's getting a spinoff.
Yeah, we called it a few weeks ago. She's getting her spinoff, and it's being run by Filoni.
She's getting her own spinoff.
Yeah. I mean, the episode she was in, they pretty much announced that she was getting a spin-off because they dropped all these names.
Yeah. They also gave more development updates on the Obi-Wan series. So Hayden Christensen he's going to be returning as Darth Vader in the Obi-Wan series, and then Ewan McGregor also teased that possibly we're going to see another fight between Darth Vader and between Obi-Wan Kenobi. So there's that. With all this stuff dropping, I mean, them announcing this huge slate of stuff, do you just think it's just too much? Do you think it's just too much, stuff of them announcing all these different projects? You know what I mean?
Yes and no.
Yeah. It was like an overdose of serotonin.
I'm with you there, yes and no. It's like, are they making the same mistake that they did when Disney first acquired Star Wars? They announced, okay, we're gonna make a movie every year.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because I feel like they could potentially be overreaching, but they're also not announcing a bunch of movies. A lot of these are straight up series.
Yeah.
The only movies that were announced were Rian Johnson. He's still working on a Star Wars movie in the future. Kevin Feige's still producing one. Patty Jenkins is directing a Star Wars Rogue Squadron movie.
Nice introduction for the movie too. She was on the rollerblades and then jumped in the thing. That was pretty cool. I thought that was a nice little her.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Nice one.
Yeah, it just popped up on my feed. I didn't know what it was, and then the X-Wing pops in. And it was like,
they have a date for that Rogue Squadron, Christmas 2023. They still Taika Waititi. He's doing a Star Wars film still.
I forgot about that.
Which is kind of hilarious because a couple years ago there was like a list of directors to take on Star Wars movies, and it was like, no, thank you. I'd actually like to finish a movie. Because this is like when directors were dropping in and out of Star Wars.
So I'm excited for what Taika Waititi does with his Star Wars film. I'm excited for that, along with Rian Johnson. The Obi-Wan series, Deborah Chow's doing that one. She did some episodes of The Mandalorian as well. She's heading up that show. You just have the Ahsoka show.
I'm curious to see what Hayden Christensen does with a good script.
Because he's not a bad actor. Yeah. He's actually a decent actor.
That's true.
Yeah, because I just watched this other movie he was in called Shattered Glass. And he gives a really good performance in it. It shows what he can do when he's given good material.
Rangers of the New Republic, which is a series I basically said they were probably going to do. Last episode, like a series focusing on the Republic and things like that, and basically enlisted people of the Republic trying to maintain order in the galaxy. Seems like that's what they're doing with this whole Rangers of the Republic series. Executive producers Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni. They're going to do a Lando TV series.
Yep.
Go ahead, Nick.
That's headed by Justin Simeon from Dear White People, and directed Bad Hair, which we
he's doing the Lando's. Is he doing the Lando series? You're saying? Yep.
Yeah,
Lando
he's doing.
Yes, he is.
I
That
wonder
shit
if
is fun.
Donald Glover's gonna come back. I mean, he's a pretty busy guy. I'm wondering if he'll come back to play Lando.
I don't think so. I know he's trying to do Atlanta, next season of Atlanta. So
and he did drop some tweets saying like, "Oh my Atlanta, fuck Sopranos. This is gonna be the greatest season ever. Just wait, just watch. I'm gonna drop all this music. I'm gonna drop this great TV show." So he was, he just went.
Yeah, they left it on a cliffhanger, so I know he wants to finish it.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Lando and Solo was kind of disappointing for me. That whole movie was disappointing. I was excited to see Donald Glover play Lando. I was kind of left disappointed. But
Yeah. Funny enough, I felt Solo would work better as a series because just the way the movie was structured, it kind of felt like it was just a bunch of episodes put into a movie.
Yeah,
I could see that.
And I'm in the minority in the group. I actually really like Solo, and I'd be curious to see if they do anything with what was set up in that movie.
Yeah, I'm very interested.
Because I'm waiting on Darth Maul to come in on one of these shows.
Yeah, he's probably gonna be on the Obi-Wan show, more than likely.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need it.
You also have Endor, which is a story about Cassian Endor. He's getting his own show, which is the character from Rogue One, played by Diego Luna. He's getting his own series that's coming out in 2022. Again, it's like we brought up more of the aspect of the spy, the war. I would love to see that also brought in that series. So I think that'd be an interesting series to watch. You also have The Acolyte, which is a series coming from the Russian Doll creator. I heard that show is really great. I've never seen it, but I heard that show is really, really good. It stars the actress from Orange Is the New Black. She's in it.
Tasha Leone. And
Yeah, she's in it.
Yeah, I can't speak too much to it. I never saw it.
You also have a Star Wars animated show called The Bad Batch, which is also there.
That one I'm excited for.
That one I'm excited for, continuing in the Clone Wars a world with that same animation style.
Yeah.
And continuing, and it looks like they're setting up their story during the fall of the Republic.
Yeah.
So at it.
Before Mandalorian.
It was like makes me wonder, like, for their specific mutations, did they get the control chips that caused Order 66, or did whatever mutation they did they break those?
You also have like Star Wars,
because it looks like they're fighting other clones.
You also have Star Wars Visions, an anthology collection of short films set in Star Wars universe from 10 different Japanese animation creators. That sounds really interesting. That sounds really interesting. I know Chayse is a fucking weeb, so ooh, Japanese. Ooh. Oh wow.
That's all you had to say.
Wow. Japanese. Okay.
Oh wow.
Anime.
So that looks really that'd be really
Nani?
interesting. A droid story and animated series from Lucasfilm Animation and Lucasfilm Visual Effects team that sets R2D2 and C3PO in a new adventure. I don't care about that. I've had enough.
No.
Nah, fuck that.
I'm good.
Make a hold
I'm
that.
over
I've had
3PO and
enough
R2.
of 3PO.
Let's see BB-8 story.
They can hold BB-8 too. I don't need any more toys.
Yeah. So out of
I just need
so
good
what
stories.
Star Wars series are you all most excited to see? So
Ahsoka.
Definitely Tano in the
Jeremy, what about you?
Yeah.
I would say Bad Batch, because I was gonna say before Mandalorian, Clone Wars was the best Star Wars TV show they had, because that was, it was.
by a long shot, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah. Honestly, best Star Wars property that they had.
Yeah, best Star Wars property, because they had one episode where Palpatine came in. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but that was a whole battle. It just like blew my mind, and then even for a cartoon show, it's pretty dark. Like, I'm surprised Cartoon Network even aired the show.
That show got fucking gnarly.
Yeah, you see people get decapitated, all that stuff. It's just like, ooh.
Wow. So you liked it better than Rebels?
Yeah, especially like when Darth Maul returned on that show, they went dark.
Yeah, they went really dark. They like you see high body count for a kid show,
and they made Darth Maul an interesting character.
Yes,
finally.
yes.
So you liked it better?
Yeah, I liked it better than Rebels. Rebels, I didn't
Okay.
care for.
I thought Rebels was pretty good.
I only saw the first episode of Rebels, but I wanted to watch like his
it's
arc
pretty
in
good.
that
His
show.
arc in the show is pretty good.
Yeah, his arc in the show was pretty good. I meant that.
Also, I'm also a huge fan of Sam Witwer. I think he does an amazing job
Yeah.
voicing Darth Maul.
Yeah, his voice is pretty good for Darth Maul.
Yeah. I think that's all the real big news. I didn't miss anything, did I?
Were you gonna do any Disney stuff like the animate? Because they had other stuff they announced.
Other like Disney animated stuff.
Yeah, they announced. It's probably some stuff we ourselves don't care about. They announced they're gonna do TV shows from Moana.
Oh, okay. And
Princess and the
I
Frog.
saw that one. Princess and the Frog. Yeah.
Yeah, one I am curious about is Zootopia. Because I really like that movie, and they introduced a whole bunch of characters. So I guess their show is gonna be focused on other characters besides Nick Wilde and the bunny character.
Yeah, they have an interesting world, so why not?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they barely
with
touched the
Zootopia,
world in
that's
the movie.
a great, big, expansive world that you have a lot of room to play in.
Yes.
With Moana and Tiana from Princess and the Frog, I don't know where you take their stories from there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like both of those movies kind of wrapped it up in
Yeah.
a nice, neat little bow.
I feel like they're risking. I mean, granted, they do need more content for Disney Plus, so I understand why. But I do feel like they're risking the chance to like turn those movies into like a Madagascar type of thing where they make the TV show that's bad.
It all
You know what I'm
depends,
saying?
though. It all depends because they made a TV
Yeah.
show for Tangled, which was actually pretty good. Like it's way
really?
better
That's good.
sequel than what they did with Frozen too.
So what did they do in the TV
Oh,
show for
okay.
Tangled? What was like her daily thing?
Like they explained more about where her power came from, as far as the sun, the little flower. Because they introduced she got her power from that little flower that her mom ate in the movie. So they introduced that, and then they kind of fleshed out the villain from the first one. I can't remember what her name is right now, but they fleshed it out, and then they made the kingdom of Corona more of a character because they showed the kingdom more often. So I liked it. So
Okay.
Tangled caused Corona.
No, cats caused Corona. Cats was Corona's our punishment for cats.
yeah, it was.
All right.
And they introduced this is not really a spoiler, but they revealed the cast for Little Mermaid and some other stuff. But funny enough, Little Mermaid, a lot of big Disney projects like Little Mermaid, Peter Pan, Wendy, Pinocchio, and I think Cruella. They're doing a movie for Cruella. They're all gonna be put on Disney Plus. They're not coming to the theaters.
Yeah, with Emma Stone. Yeah, Emma Stone's is Cruella.
Interesting
This is,
choice.
you have Harvey Bardem as King Triton in this movie.
Daveed
Yeah.
Diggs is Sebastian.
That makes sense. You have Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. Aquafina is Scuttle.
I can see that working for Aquafina.
Why are you saying Nick? Melissa McCarthy is like one of the greatest actors of our current
That's true.
generation, according to the New York Times.
You know what? The New York Times can suck my dick.
Yeah. So I don't understand how we supposed to believe that Haley Bailey is related to Harvey Bardem.
She could be. Is it black Latino?
and mixed?
Is that the proper term to say?
Biracial.
Mixed.
Yeah, she could be
Mixed,
mixed.
Yeah. I wonder who's the mother.
Yeah, I believe
Who's
it.
the mother? Oh,
I mean, the
Oh,
mom's
that's right,
technically dead in the movie, so.
It's a remake. It's a remake of old school Disney.
right.
There
The
is
mother's
no
dead.
mother.
All right.
As long as we give a good version of Poor Unfortunate Souls, I'm good. So.
Well, Lin-Manuel Miranda is a producer on this, and I think he's doing the music for it. So hopefully, at least the music will be good in this.
Really?
In this,
He's doing a lot.
He's
unnecessary
busy, yeah.
remake.
He's doing another Disney movie, another Disney animated movie, I should say.
What is that?
It's called Encanto. It's about I think it's Hispanic culture, I believe, but I do know it's about a family who has magical powers and a daughter. Main character, the daughter, does not. So I guess it's like a reverse Frozen.
Oh, okay. Is that movie Project Heights? Is that like a Disney movie too?
In the Heights?
Oh,
No, that's Warner.
That's Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers. They got the rights to the Broadway musical.
All right. Haley Bailey, the one who plays Ares, she can really sing. She can really.
She can sing. I think. Well, I don't know how about her acting skills, but I think as far as the songs that she'll sing, I think she'll be fine.
She's got a great voice. Yeah. She was doing something. Her and because she's part of a group. I forgot what the name of the group is called. I really love their album Ungodly Hour. I think that's a really good album. Her group is Chloe and Haley, and they were doing.
Oh, with her sister.
And they were doing the song from Frozen, and it was those, and they were doing it, and they sounded really good, like really really good. I think they were doing some song.
They're very talented.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty nice. So. Yeah, it was really good. It was Do You Want to Build a Snowman? They did that song. It was the Disney Holiday Sing-Along thing. I think I saw them, and then they were really good. So yeah. All right. So any other news? Any other big news? I think that's it, right?
Just everybody reprising their roles for Spider-Man 3. Whatever that's gonna be.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 3. Starring Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, cameo appearance by Tom Holland.
Yeah. The entire world.
Basically.
Will Lamar's coming back as the bystander on the train.
Joey Diaz coming back as another bystander on the train. Which I hope he gets a bigger role. I just want him to pull Spider-Man aside. Listen, cocksucker!
Everybody's appearing in Spider-Man 3. We're appearing in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah. Let how Drake Bell come back as the voice.
We're reprising our role.
Johnny Sins appearing in Spider-Man 3. Anthony Starr coming back as Homelander in Spider-Man 3.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of these people, it's probably just going to be just cameos. I mean, it has to be just a little short.
A lot of them are cameos. With some of them, I'm curious to see how they play it. Is it going to be cameos? Is it going to be blink and you miss it? One I hope actually gets confirmed is Charlie Cox. Is the newest one that was rumored to appear. Charlie Cox is Matt Murdock. Who, out of all of these announcements, his makes the most sense story-wise.
Yeah,
especially given how Far From Home ends.
Yeah, his is the only one that makes sense. The others are kind of like a multiverse of madness type bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But, it was somebody, I saw the tweet saying like, hey, what could happen is Sony could finally make their Sinister Six movie. And hear me out. Cross-universe Sinister Six versus the Spider-Men kind of sounds cool. I'm not gonna hold you. It's a lot. It's a lot.
That actually
to ask
sounds
for.
pretty cool.
Okay.
But the fight will be insane.
Yeah.
The story may suck, but the fight itself will be a treat. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
seeing Toby, Andrew, and Tom together fighting the Sinister Six, crazy.
I'm excited for
and
that.
What I'm curious about is because this reminded me a lot of the news with Far From Home. Like there was so much news surrounding it with Jake Gyllenhaal, and nobody was talking about the biggest surprise was J.K. Simmons coming back as Jameson. And I'm wondering if Disney is leaking all of this, announcing all this to hide something bigger, like potentially maybe introducing Miles Morales in this movie.
Yeah, because usually
that'd be
Disney
interesting.
is so very tight-lipped about everything that they do, unless you really want to know.
They are.
You know what I mean? They'll want you to know. You know what I mean? So it's a surprise. Like all this is dropping, like Alfred Molina and William Dafoe and Jamie Foxx is Electro and all these others. So it's like it's very surprising that all this information is coming out, and they're very tight-lipped about everything. But yeah, I mean,
I'm curious though.
I'm very curious about the film. Charlie Cox coming back would make the most sense. Would love to see him. Like,
would make the most sense, and I want to see his Daredevil interact with Spider-Man because of that relationship from the comics.
Yeah.
And I think Charlie Cox is the definitive Daredevil.
They got to eat a sandwich together.
Do something.
And then
yeah, and I hope they bring back the other Netflix heroes. I hope they bring back Luke Cage and Jessica Jones in this universe.
Leave out Iron Fist though.
They can fucking recast Iron Fist. Hopefully they do what they originally planned with that character and get Louis Tan back.
He'll be perfect.
That would be good. Yeah.
Get somebody who can actually fight.
Right.
Maybe you would do something like maybe introduce Charlie Cox just in the She-Hulk series and then bring him into the movie again. That would be really good.
That could work.
It would make sense to bring him here because Peter's going to need a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to need a lot of help. So I'm curious though. So a lot of these people that are announced that are coming back, so their characters died in the other movies that they appeared in. So how's that gonna work? Are they gonna do time
multiverse,
travel?
bitch?
Yeah. It depends, I guess, on the time in which they bring him back. But for
Because
Jamie Foxx, it doesn't really make sense because he's gonna look old.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx is gone.
Yeah.
Alfred Molina's character died.
It'd be cool to see like Tobey's older Spider-Man interact with the younger two, and I hope they make Andrew Garfield the butt of the joke in this.
Yeah.
Because as much as I like Andrew Garfield, those movies were ass.
Yeah.
Well,
those were fucking
they were
terrible.
terrible.
if I'm not mistaken, he is he technically the strongest Spider-Man in
Who,
terms
Andrew
of feats
Garfield?
in the movies?
Andrew Garfield?
Yeah, he didn't stop a train.
In terms
did
of
he stop a train?
in terms of feats. Oh wait, no, actually, Tom Holland's is actually the strongest in terms of feats. Because he
Tom
stopped
Holland or Tobey.
Yeah, because he stops the whole boat.
Yeah, Tom Holland was pretty sure.
Or no, not the boat. It's a
ferry
whole ship.
He literally holds a goddamn like aircraft, a whole aircraft over his head and pulls the entire building off.
Yeah, and then he also punches and kicks Thanos. So
he
not
does.
Everybody,
He
not
gets
every
a few-
Spider-Man can say
few
that.
punches in there, yeah. But I would like them to finish the storylines at least for the other Spider-Man movies. Like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man movie, that last movie, it was kind of depressing with the ending. I mean, it kind of just ended with him and his girlfriend. Well, not his girlfriend, but Mary Jane just dancing. So you don't know really what happens. with them.
You mean the worst love interest in all?
Yeah, she's coming
movies?
back.
Yeah.
Kristen Dunst is supposedly coming back.
And even
If they
Andrew
can-
Garfield, his series kind of ended on a odd note too. So
Yeah.
On a whimper.
yeah,
If they can make it work, I'm cool with it.
If they can make it work, I'm down.
yeah.
Like as much shit as I'm talking, I love the character of Spider-Man. I have a lot of nostalgia goggles for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and I really love Tom Holland's take on the character. Andrew Garfield,
I liked his first movie, Andrew Garfield.
I
second was
I
terrible.
like him in the suit
I thought his suit.
because he has some scenes. He has some scenes where he's like
Really?
hilarious. In the
He
suit.
makes a good, funny Spider-Man, but as far as Peter Parker, no.
Yeah, no, he's the worst Peter Parker by far that I've ever seen.
Like, for some reason, he looks so old in high school, even worse than Tobey Maguire. And I was like, dude, you're like 30. Like, get out of here.
I think he looked
No, you
better
had
in
fucking
high school.
36-year-old Joe Manganiello as Flash Thompson.
What killed for me
As
was
the high school bully.
what killed for me was that they had Andrew Garfield riding a skateboard, and I was just like, they do not know this character.
No, they don't. They try to make him too cool. I'm just like, dude, you're not a nerd.
He Peter would not ride.
He's not even a nerd.
Peter
No.
would be too uncoordinated until he obviously got bitten to ride the skateboard.
He's fucking Mr. One Direction pretty boy
Yeah.
before the Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, dude,
So-
you don't have a terrible time in school. Like, you can get girls
Yeah.
and stuff.
All right. So let's get out of here. A lot of news, a lot of stuff we had to cover. Big show today. Thanks, Jeremy, for
Yep, big announcement of all of us reprising our roles as the Afternoon Tune host in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
We're gonna be the people that he listens to when he's swinging around the city, the podcast. You know what I mean? Like he's listening to. But hey, thanks, Jeremy, for coming in, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Glad to make my little cameo. Our guest star.
Chayse, you want to let people where they can find you, man?
You can find me at Mr. Chayse Mac on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Mr. MrChaysemac.
All right.
And did I say Twitch?
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
Yes,
why not?
I believe so.
And where can they find you, Nick?
You can find me Twitter and Instagram at Night and Day Nick.
All right. Jeremy, you want to pimp your socials, your projects, YouTube channel, everything like that?
All right. You can find me, like I said before, you can find me Jeremy Payne on YouTube. Just type it in. Once you see some animation stuff, that's most likely me. Find me on Instagram, Painful Artist. That's Pain, like House of Pain. Full Artist. Find me on Instagram over there.
Hey, Afternoon Tune, you can find us at twitter.com, The Afternoon Tune. If you want to send us an email, send us questions, anything like that, theafternoontune@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/The Afternoon Tune. We're also on Instagram at The Afternoon Tune as well. Hey, just everything Afternoon Tune. We're also on Twitch, Afternoon Tune. We also, of course, it would help, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. You know what to do. Comment, constructive criticism, never hurt anybody. Let us know what we did right, let us know what we did wrong. That's always very helpful. Hope you all enjoyed the show, whether you listen to this. A lot of effort, a lot of packed show, went into this. So my mouth is dry, you know what I mean, right now. Definitely need some water. To all you people out there listening to this, whenever you're listening to this, don't forget to always stay tuned.